Welcome back, everybody, for Series 2 here of the VCS. We've got GAM taking on Team Secret. A bit of a rivalry for sure. My name is Everyday. With me is Yulwei. What do we think going into this one?
We might have the shortest or the quickest finish in terms of timing of all time here on the VCS. We are actually starting before before the normal starting time of the first series, now for the second series, and it's GAM, so we might not be here for more than 1.5 hours. GAM tends to make things short, so here we go. Might be one of the quickest day after one of the longest days yesterday with 6 games, back to 4 games today. But of course, Secret wants to win here. Them out yet. So far, GAM has been flawless in the second round. So we don't really expect them to lose here, especially with Team Secret slumping a little bit here and there. But Secret needs to find a way back. Yeah, a little bit is maybe a little bit of an understatement.
I think that's being very kind.
A bit.
It is quite the impressive slump here for Team Secret. It is really need to. We wanted to see them bounce back yesterday. That was a game they could actually potentially win. Up against GAM, I don't give them too much of a chance. Maybe they can impress us. Team Secret is often a team that plays to the level of their opponent, but I don't know if they can play to the level of GAM.
Yeah, so far they've not been able to play to the level of GAM, and sadly the trend of playing to the level of your opponent is mostly correct when they play against weaker opponents, sadly. So it's a big struggle with Team Secret. I still don't know why they suddenly suck. Artifact has lost a lot of his prowess in mid lane. He's not strong in lane anymore. He seems to be losing lanes. Top lane is a little bit of a mess. Although Coated actually played nicely yesterday. Yeah. You yesterday said Team Secret's slump is over.
Yeah.
Do you stand by that?
I do. I stand by the slump was over. I think they played to their actual level there. I don't think it's a slump anymore. That's just their level.
Okay.
Slightly
well, it's not good enough to contest
than what I said yesterday, so I don't look silly. But no, God, no. Secret doesn't need to break their slump to beat GAM. They need to play better than they've played in a hell of a long time. I don't think that's happening. We are cracking into game here.
If they lose today, which is very likely, of course, as you just said, they will go to 6-6, tying with EVOS and with Cerberus, who just won against DBL. So back in the pack and not secured whatsoever when it comes to playoffs. It looked like Team Secret was already a shoe-in for playoffs. Now that's very much not the case anymore.
Oh God, no! Yeah, we a few weeks ago we were definitely saying that it was a 3-way battle for the 4th spot, but now it is suddenly a 5-way battle for 3rd and 4th. It's really not ideal. Kiaya in for game 1 here, as has been the standard. They obviously do have Zeros that could come in. He'll probably come in for game 2, depending on the result. I mean, he'll probably come in regardless. They seem to do that. What could Team Secret pick to potentially get the win here? Also, Hardy not in. Coded still playing. So I like that.
Code is playing, yeah. Both have looked solid. Hani has lost some lanes here and there, especially against DBL. He was actually the biggest detriment to Team Secret, and Team Secret lost in the 3rd game against the Aurelia for Hasmid. They destroyed Hani in lane. So I like to see Coded, and I especially like to start with Coded. I think it's good to give him starting time to build his confidence and maybe try to go from there. Hani is still a solid player to come in later on, especially if you're able to draft something not as lane reliant for him. But yeah, what do we want to see for Secret? I think it has to go. You always have to draft a little bit towards early game against GAM, because if you don't do that, you'll just get blown away. So I would like to see maybe an early game jungler, maybe a little bit of an early game mid laner for Artifact to enable Celebrity to scale.
Can we talk about how ridiculously GAM this move is? All of the picks in the world available, Aphelios open, but no, they just secure Tier 1 Syndra. That's all they want. They get the center time catch anyway.
It's a flex pick.
It is.
They've played Laser Syndra before, so...
Did you see last time we watched GAM play? And I mean, it's definitely not a flex anymore. Center time Kench. Already, look at this GAM comp. Already, ooh, hello, Ute.
Hello.
Spam your Utes in the chat. That's a bard.
That is a bard. What? Okay.
I mean,
very, very good into Tahm Kench, of course.
Yeah, exactly. It is a Tahm Kench counter.
It's more known as a Braum counter, but it's quite good into Tahm Kench as well.
Well, it's so easy to hit the stun after the spit.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not actually sure if this bot lane for Team Secret can do a lot to send Tahm Kench, to be honest.
Well, it can roam, right? The bard doesn't have to be in lane. There's no real kill pressure from the center.
That's a fair point. So I don't think it's very much lane focused. I think if you want to go for lane smash, you go for Brand or Zyra or maybe even Nami. So something a little bit more lane dominant. I think Brad is very much more for the roaming and a little bit for scaling as well. This champ can scale into late game very well. He's very scary. Has a lot of damage for not building damage.
Yeah.
But let's look at the bans. Second phase, double AD jungler ban, which is actually makes a lot of sense in my opinion for Team Secret, because the GAM has already picked one AP solo lane, and with the high Mordekaiser priority, they might be baiting GAM into triple AP topside with Mordekaiser plus AP jungler. So that makes a lot of sense. Echo ban here. Echo ban for GAM is very interesting. Artifact Echo is known. Yeah, Echo is known as a counter to Syndra, so makes sense from that perspective. They want to give Deer as much room to get his solo kills as possible. This is the best mid lane matchup before the season started. This was the best mid lane matchup. Not sure if it still is, but it's Artifact against DR1. We can expect some fireworks.
I mean, you can always expect fireworks when you have a DR1 in lane. The question is, are they going to be pointed up in the air or pointed directly at the enemy mid laner? Because that's often what DR1 does, just fires rockets at people. As Nico is the lock in here, and ooh boy, that's a Levi. That's a Graves for Levi. Woohoo! Here we go.
They banned 280 junglers, and he went to another one. That is very interesting. Graves. We have a lot of scaling on GAM's side, and very low early agency when it comes to ganking. Lanes are decently strong. Aatrox is very strong early on in lane. Syndra, of course, very strong in lane. Bot lane is more farm fest. So this might just be GAM not doing a lot for 10 minutes, which is very unusual. So a little bit of a new style.
Do you really think that's going to happen?
Looking at the team compositions,
I mean, look at the team comp. Yeah, of course. You're dead right. Let's go. GAM will find a way to execute a dive bot lane. Let's be totally real. DR1, he'll hit 6 and just kill Artifact, even though he absolutely shouldn't. But
lucky.
Moving away from GAM for just a moment, let's have a look at Team Secret's comp. It is the Bard is weird, but it's
fun.
Comp.
This comp is so fun.
I agree. That's what I wanted to get to. This comp is just team fight, right? They just want to go. Take it to go.
Well, I mean, they also have a lot of roaming power in Bard. They can play 4-1 composition or more 0-3 1 composition with Bard roaming between lanes. Actually, very fun team composition to watch. If they fall behind, they will just get murdered in team fights, though, because there's so much damage on the side of GAM. A lot of CC as well. So they kind of need to stay ahead, especially in the top lane. Coated Aurelia against Kiaya Aatrox. That is a really big test for Coated. And if he falls behind on Aurelia, chances for Team Secret are dwindling. So
yeah,
I love the bot lane, though. I want to see the bot lane play out. That's so much fun. I love Bard.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see Bard just absolutely cracking out some highlight plays, get some meat slaps going. Is that actually what it's called? I know that's what everyone calls his passive.
No, I don't think so.
But I don't think it's actually called that. Everyone just calls it the meat slap.
Yeah, no. It's something about collecting the meeps. Not sure what it's called, but I don't think it has anything to do with the slap, because the slap is only a side effect.
Yeah,
because you collect meeps and then you get more damage with the slap. But yeah, it's not actually the slap that is the centerpiece of the passive.
Yeah, it is. That's not true. That's not true at all. It is the centerpiece. And Bard is the centerpiece of this team comp. I don't care. Now,
just wanted to say, next patch, by the way, Levi would have picked Kindred here. Kindred got buffed on 10.6, and Kindred is very strong right now. So this would have been a perfect Kindred position. And in the next patch, I think this is probably the last patch where you go Grace over Kindred in this jungle.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Sorry. Sorry, very distracted there. I agree with that. So we are just really hanging on these team comps. Moving on field. There we go. Guess that was a bit of a tech issue.
Yeah, potentially.
You have.
I don't have a mask on, right?
Yeah. All right. We are practicing social distancing. I don't think we need. I don't think I need to wear a mask when I haven't seen another human in 3 days.
Yeah, I think the masks on broadcast are more for like good exemplifying. Yeah. It's not actually necessary to wear a mask on broadcast if you're alone at home.
Interestingly enough, masks actually don't do very much against coronavirus. It's not an airborne disease. What it does is it stops you touching your face. That's the big one. But it's not like a cough or something. Like, that's not really how you catch corona because it's a virus. I mean, that's what I was reading at least. But I fully admit I don't understand the science. I just believe what science people tell me. But yeah.
That's interesting. I need to read up on that again. I thought there were certain masks that are able to filter the air, and those are
a ventilator. Those do. Really? Yeah, I think those do, but I just think the normal. I think the normal face masks are more just for don't touch your face.
Yeah, and it's more for you preventing your viruses to spread.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. If you've got it, you should.
That's definitely the use for masks generally in Asia. It's flu season or even just cold season. That you see a lot of people walking around with masks. It's not to prevent them catching the disease. It's for the others to not catch the disease from them. So that's definitely where it originated. So that's also why Europeans seem to struggle to pick the masks and what they are doing.
We are in game
in Japan. Everyone is wearing masks. Yeah.
It's still not really catching on here. When I have ventured out into the post-apocalyptic wasteland to scavenge for supplies, people still aren't really wearing the masks. And a friend of mine that works
not super common here either.
What annoys me is a friend of mine that works at a supermarket, so they're essential. They have to stay open. I was like, so are you guys wearing masks? I'm like, no, we're not allowed. Because they think
not
it's off-putting to customers, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Wow, that is ridiculous.
That's absurd. Like that
do not have the all the German supermarkets now implied some like barrier. They have a barrier around the cashier, so you can't actually get in contact anymore with the cashier person. So there's a big.
Here they're doing it so that when you go through, the cashier doesn't bag your stuff anymore.
They did that? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. They'd scan it, then put it in a bag.
Bagging is not common in Germany, so interesting. No, we have to pack our stuff ourselves. So that was never the case anymore.
It's just about efficiency.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
there you go. Starting patterns for the junglers. We can come back to Corona discussion a little later.
Let's just drop it. Let's have a look at League of Legends.
I just wanted to see, take a quick look at the rune choices, because there's one very interesting one for Levi. I have to say I'm not super common with, so I don't really know a lot about Grace jungle, I wanted to say. So not sure if this is the common choice. Makes a lot of sense to me in team fights, though. I think some Graves like to go for Electrocute as well. Yeah, Face Rush makes him very, very hard to kill. Very, very nice kite going on for Levi there. So Levi is obviously just focused on farming. He's very much playing my style of jungling. I've been jungling a little bit more in the last few days and just farming all the time. Who cares about lane?
I'm sure your teammates have never blamed you for anything going wrong.
Oh man, I mean, when they're 3 level ahead of the enemy jungler, they can't really say a whole lot about that.
I wish that was true. I wish that was true. I was playing a game of Karthus and I was 3 levels ahead. My top laner died 1v1. Jungler, why aren't you here?
Ah, of course, the classic.
It's not my fault. As D1 does a lot of damage onto Artifact and dodges absolutely every bit of return damage. Someone check that he's actually playing and he's not just a robot.
Yeah, D1 is so impressive. Can we just have the cam on mid lane? Because nothing is going to happen this early game. That's also why we derailed a little bit, because this is such a passive composition for GAM. It's very unusual, but there's not going to be a lot of action. So let's just all be in awe of D1 mechanics. I think that's the most interesting thing to do here.
Not watch coded mechanics with that flawless duet.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't matter, but it was
flawless duet. Another very interesting champion. I tried my hand at Irelia because I wanted to see how she plays. I've never played the replay. The replay.
That's a long time ago.
And yeah, I played Irelia before the rework because she didn't really require that many mechanics, so she was my champ. So
bring back the old.
It's fun to play, but seemed very squishy to me. I died very quickly in team fights, even from ahead. Like one was very fun and very strong, but in team fights she seemed super squishy to me. So that's an interesting thing to track. Yeah. Especially if she goes for the usual build now with Blade of the Rune King. It is the reason she's back in the meta. She is one of the best Blade of the Rune King users. So yeah, on 1 item, 1.5 items, Aurelia tends to be pretty squishy.
Yeah, absolutely. In the mid lane, Levi shows himself and everything getting dodged on both sides really there. That was not bad from Artifact. He got out of there absolutely no problem, but the lane priority will go over to D1. Junglers could make the Raptors. Levi wants to avenge his camp that was stolen.
Oh, a nice smite. Levi gets this one. It's not ahead in levels, actually. And farm is even as well. So nice pathing so far from DNK. He does this time seem to know how to path. That's a good change.
Does know. He needs to drop a letter. As Venus is here in the mid lane, was looking for the early Bard roam. Probably picked up a couple of those chimes. Didn't find anything, and he'll just head back to base and link back up with Celebrity.
Interesting start here for Bard. Usually Bards in pro play go Relic Shield to be safer. Most Bards also don't play into Senator Kench, so I think he now found a way to implement this other gold item that's a little bit nicer to have. But look at the top lane, there's a fight. Kiaya getting caught by coated.
The Vanguard's Edge has already been used. Kiaya now trying to kite back, has the Conqueror procced on both sides now. Can Coated find this solo kill? Levi has arrived, the instant flash away by Coated, and he's covered by his own jungler, so end. Actually, a win here for GAM as they come out a flash ahead. I'll now push this top lane in.
And Levi quickly snacked some the top lane experience to hit level 6 as well, so now he has a lot of burst. It's still not the greatest jungler at ganking, but he might look to invade. Graves actually one of the greatest jungler to invade. It's quite scary into J4 though, because J4 can of course delay the fight by a lot and then call in help from top or mid lane. Even bot lane is priority for Team Secret right now, so it's not the best time to invade ever for Levi, so he might have to go back to just power farm his jungle, which he seems to be doing.
So Yulwei, I'm about to throw you under the bus a little bit. Brace yourself.
Oh no.
Venus has gone phase rush. Do you think that's the best Bard rune? Because Bard can go just about anything.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. For me, Electrocute still is the best Bard rune. I like Electrocute for early trades. I think Hail of Blades is very fun. I think it's not quite as consistent, but it's a very good rune as well. Omnistone has seen some play. Phase Rush does surprise me. That's true. Phase Rush Bard. He can move very fast, but does that do anything? We'll have to wait and see. I don't really see the purpose of Phase Rush Bard. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah,
strange.
It
strange.
Strange is definitely the word, but maybe the stranger things are the better
look
they
at wave
are on
clear.
a VOD. Look at that wave clear. Now they need to back off though. Venus just has to flash away just to be safe. But they do manage to get away from Levi coming in. We are at 8.5 minutes in a GAM game, and everyone's no one's died. 8.5 minutes in, GAM is behind in gold.
Oh no! What is going?
Oh,
but there, Blazes will die.
Finally, have someone die. Blazes is locked up. He goes down. First blood for Celebrity. GAM's never been here before. GAM is losing the early game.
They've lost to Flash, but yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. GAM is actually not looking too crisp here, and their composition is a little strange. They are scaling well, so we've actually not talked about scaling. Let's get that in while we are still looking at a pretty slow early game. Both teams are scaling well. Honestly, there's a lot of scaling options, and just from looking at without thinking about team configurations, I would actually favor Team Secret. But let's first take a look at the skank. Nicely hit. Bart ult hits. Does not actually hit Blazes, but he blows his flash, so it's very easy to follow up for DNK, and he locks on the kill.
I actually think it's almost
so that was not super exciting.
Because only hitting Paulette meant they could deal damage to Blazes because he wasn't stasis, but there was no Devour. So I don't think it was intentional, but it worked out well.
They also forced the flash, but Kiaya
scored. Look at the boys, they're coming through the wall. They've tunneled in. Can they get onto Kiaya under the tower? I think they can. And there is the kill for Coated. Easy peasy.
Yeah, one is approaching though.
But the rest of the boys have arrived for GAM. Levi's getting focused out here. That Dawning Shadow doesn't deal any damage to Coated, but he goes down regardless. So 1 for 1 up in the top side. Love seeing a tunnel play.
Do you know what game this reminds me of? This is very much like the Game 3 FTV against GAM, where GAM fell behind everywhere, and Dia1 carried with a 10-0 or something performance. Was on Cassiopeia and just went 1v9 for the whole game. This might be another one of those.
Don't you start comparing Secret to FTV. Get enough of that.
Okay, that's fair.
But you are right.
FTV has been getting better.
I understand. I do completely.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh no! I think you're a second ahead of me, just by the way, and we'll hopefully fix that one up. Venus now gets into his tunnel. Paulette is going to Abyssal Voyage forward instead of just going in the tunnel as well. Interesting decision. Had to use the ult. I don't think had to use was the correct way to phrase it, but it's on cooldown now.
Yep. So, what are we looking at? So, back to the scaling discussion. Both teams are scaling well. Nico in the mid lane. Both are not known for their late game. Sundred still has... Oh, never mind me. No time for scaling discussions. No, there might be another fight happening.
Venus has come in. There is the Bard ult. The fate has been tempered. There's a lot of chakrams available here for Celebrity. There is the Rage Cage. There's no way out here for Paulette. He will be going down very, very easily. Team Secret is up 2 kills and 1.3k gold.
And both kills, 2 kills are on the bot lane.
Down in the bot lane. Kiaya has been caught out here. Levi's coming in to help his friend out. Can they find this one? Nice. Code is going so low, and he will go down. Artifact now in a lot of trouble. This Chameleon could be going down as well. Flashes away. Is there follow-up? I'm not sure there is. He will come in. No, never mind. I tell a lie. It hits somehow, but they can't keep going under the tower.
But she dropped very low. Of course, the HP total we saw there was not the actual HP bar. That was the fake HP from J4. So, actually, very nice. I haven't seen this disguise play too much for Deco, where she runs away and then disguises as a tankier member, so the enemy team doesn't really know how much HP she has left. So, the dive gets a little bit scarier.
As soon as you hit
the dive gets scarier.
As soon as you hit her, you do break the.
Oh, that's true. That's actually true.
So the Rift Herald has been summoned up here in the top lane, so this should be low Team Secret even.
It's struggling to get to the turret though.
Yeah, it is really struggling. Shelly, are you okay? There is the tunnel out and it is secured. Not exactly how Secret wanted that to go, but the end result is just fine. And they are ahead by 2,000 gold.
Yeah, it's a very impressive lead. And all the kills are on the most important targets. So you don't actually need to accelerate Artifact. You have a very cheap build path on Nico. 2 items, she's pretty much done. Afterwards, she just picks up a little bit more utility, a little bit more damage, a little bit more punch. But it doesn't really matter. The 2 slow items are the most important. Those are very cheap items. So you don't actually need kills on Nico. You want the kills on Irelia and, of course, on the late game ADC. 2-0-1, 150 gold bounty already, 6,000 gold to his name. This is now very scary for GAM. They don't have the greatest tools to deal with late game Aphelios. Of course, DR1 can always look to one-shot him. Other than Aatrox doesn't have the easiest time to get on Aphelios, especially if Aphelios has good weapons to defend himself. Palette is not on an engaged support. Senna can never get to Aphelios. And Levi, not really, right? So Aphelios getting ahead is very, very.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. It's this is a potential win condition. Celebrity is like we often give Celebrity a little bit of crap because he gets way too many official MVPs than he deserves, but he has had a pretty good split. He's been a big part of when Secret was looking good. He was a big part of it. So if he's back in form and he can get on this Aphelios, get off to a good start, he can definitely carry Team Secret over the line. However, this is GAM. We can never, ever count them out. They're not apocalyptically behind. DR1 can still carry this.
Oh, good dodge.
Good dodge by DR1, but it might not be enough as everything else is used. They throw everything and the kitchen sink at DR1, and he does go down. I mean, you've got to throw everything at that man or he'll find a way out.
Yeah, very nice dodge still, but yeah, he didn't have a flash available. It's still on cooldown for 2 seconds or something, so very nice timing for Team Secret to go to the mid lane and hand DR1 his first death of the series. It's very hard to kill him. He has had some series where he went something like 30 kills and 2 deaths for the whole series, so good to see Team Secret know how to kill this man in the mid lane. The unkillable... whatever king. It's Demon King is reserved for Faker. Yeah. Maybe it's the unkillable Jungle King.
We'll workshop it. After the broadcast, we'll start workshopping the names. But yeah, this is
3K now.
Secret. Yeah, this is great for Secret. But let's check in on GAM because they are obviously. We knew that this was going to be a quiet early game for them. What item breakpoints are they waiting for?
That's a good question. I think they need to hit some more items, especially for DR1. DR1 needs to get to a point where he can threaten the one-shot on Aphelios. He's right now not quite there, so he needs a little bit more penetration, potentially, for mid-game team fights. Could look into Rabadons if he wants to go for a little bit more late-game scaling. I think, DR1's items are the most important, because Senna scales with items, of course, but it's not that big of a spike whenever she picks up an item. It's more about her soul count. So Senna items are a little bit deceptive to look at. And top lane, I mean, it's just Aatrox items. It's not that. Who cares? It's always the same. He's on one item. He's okay. He's good to go.
True. Aatrox is pretty much always ready to go, particularly once he has... After 2 items, Aatrox doesn't scale anymore, but he never really falls off. He's always just... As GAM has grouped up in the mid lane here, it looks like they will try and take this mid lane tower, but DNK might have something to say about it. There's the Tempered Fate, but it only lands onto Palette. That's not good enough. And the Spooky Circle is used as GAM wants to continue this siege. Does Secret have any other ways to really get the party started? DNK will obviously be the one to look at it, but being zoned very well here by Levi.
The Grammatum
is used, and DNK didn't throw down the flag, just he wanted to get a bit of poke. They don't want
Look at how scary Celebrity is. He's level 11. He has 2 items completed at 17 minutes.
Yep, he's a big boy.
Celebrity is, honestly, the onus is on him to carry this game. He's so far accelerated. It's super hard for the enemy team composition to kill him. He needs to be on the top of his game, like he has been for a lot of this split. If he plays like he did at Worlds, think back to the infamous Tristana game, then GAM still has a chance.
Worlds 2019 didn't happen. It got cancelled. Remember, coronavirus cancelled it. It was a thing. I remember. Please don't remind us of worlds. As the mid lane tower has fallen. Dragon started here. So then the second dragon, Team Secret getting this would prevent any early dragon snowball from GAM. But I don't think Levi is going to take it lowing down and is secured by Jarvan. He outsmites. Coated is a bit caught. Flashes away and we go to a mountain rift.
So once again, GAM can't look for fights because they don't have any kind of engage. So in the end, Team Secret is happy to just get the dragon and walk away. It seems like Celebrity is cooking up something very special for Aatrox here.
Ooh, yeah, he might be
just runs at top of him.
Yep, just runs at him. I don't know if that was particularly any special sauce, but it was definitely saucy. As, oh, that's not the right Aphelios ult to use, and it didn't even hit, as now they're charging forward onto Levi, dealing a lot of damage. The Vanguard's Edge is doing well, Artifact on the other side, but Paulette does well to get his jungler out of the Pop Blossom.
Dia1 got the kill.
Coated trades his life
Celebrity
Levi.
Need to hit.
They need to keep going, yeah, Celebrity needs to be firing. He's full health with the heal gun. Needs to be doing a little bit more if they want to continue that fight, but they still get the 2-for-1.
He was so scared, even though Dia1 had... The ult for Dia1 was already used. So honestly, on these items and on Red Gun, Severum, you can't die there. You can honestly just walk into 3 members and press Q, and the heal should be enough to never die. So a little bit too conservative for me. So Celebrity had the opportunity to really break open this game and kind of secure the victory for Team Secret. It's still looking great though. More than 3k gold lead.
Absolutely. And yeah, in that fight, Celebrity really not living up to his deck choice. Had the Boros deck, but decided not to play aggro. Don't understand it. You got to bring blue if you want to play control. And I understand you don't know these references whatsoever, but Vinny's in the chat and I know it'll make him happy.
Hey. I picked up the blues control, okay? I know that. I know what the colors do, at least. I have no idea what it's referencing to. Yeah, I watched a video from Alas explaining the colors.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't really want to reference it because it's really not my blue's control, black is you have to pay for something, red is aggression, white is
little guys, little guys in life gain. But let's have a look at this fight, which is actually relevant.
It's not very interesting though, to be honest, because Felix is just running at them. Look at the lifesteal for Celebrity.
Yeah. He needs to, why did he flash there? I don't know what he was so scared of.
Yeah. Right now, it's okay for him to be defensive because he needs to be scared of Dia1. But now Dia1's ult is gone. So just go in there. There's no way those 2 members can kill you. No way. Absolutely no way. So a little bit too defensive.
Yeah.
But in the end, it doesn't really matter because he still got a 1 kill.
True. I think the call must have just been made hey, back off. We don't want to risk this.
Yeah, I think so too.
You've got to take into account that there is definitely going to be a mental level playing against GAM. GAM is scary. They get kills when they shouldn't. You say, there's no way those 2 members can kill you. Dia1 sometimes just does it anyway. Even when there's no way, right? He's used his ult, but he'll still just randomly do enough damage.
By the way, just a random... never mind. We might see another... No food. Just a random thing we need to talk about. I haven't planned any big celebration for when the next patch hits pro play.
Yes.
Because Aphelios is getting nerfed.
Yeah, so I think he's still going to say play.
We should... Yeah, but he's not as strong. He's not shredding turrets this much anymore. So true. I think we need to plan a big celebration for the death of Crescendo killing turrets in 2 seconds.
I'll go out and bake a cake, and we can have a little party for the towers that won't be
Send it to me
quickly. Yeah, sure. I'll post you a cake. That'll go well. That'll go great in the current global climate. They'll love me sending food across the world.
Oh man!
I'd assume I'm a bioterrorist. I've been meaning to do some baking. Something I've been talking about for a long time. If we were ever making a bit more money from streaming and our casting and that, I'd buy a better setup so I could do cooking streams. I love cooking. I'd love to do cooking streams. I just don't have the setup.
I love baking cakes. I picked it up this year, and I've had some very nice success so far.
Yeah, my mum.
It's not really possible right now because there's no flour anywhere in the shops.
So. Yeah, thankfully I have quite a big bag of flour that I bought a while ago that'll last me until the end of time. Yeah, my mum is a very... Well, not anymore so much because she quit when she had her 5th kid. But yeah, she's a very successful baker. So I learned a lot from her.
Nice.
The whole family are fantastic.
Honestly, cakes are the best thing in the world. So it's good when you're able to do them, make them yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you see another dragon now for Team Secret. This was a little bit of a lull. Honestly, Team Secret can just wait out a lot here. GAM has no engage, as we talked about before. And Team Secret is on strong items, but they don't need to force anything. They can just wait. They can just stay scale, take all the objectives, and get to Dragon Soul. So it's no rush. We might see a little bit of a slower game. And that's honestly not bad after the very crazy first series. A little bit of cooldown. Yeah, why not?
I'm always down just to chill out a little bit, as Artifact has a go onto Levi, but can't find anything. I think it's good for Secret as well, not to, don't let GAM bait you into making more mistakes, right? You're ahead. You don't need to keep doing anything. You can just scale up, take it nice and slow, play off your Aphelios. Can't leave it forever, because of course Senna will eventually scale into an absolute monster. But for now, they're okay.
But she never scales to the point where she's anywhere close to Aphelios late game, so...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Aphelios has already hit his late game. Look at his items.
I mean,
if he now goes for...
We'll have to look it up. What phase of the moon is it tonight? Because as we know, that was something they actually wanted to have matter.
Like a month ago or a few weeks ago, there was a very crazy moon here on the northern hemisphere. I'm not sure if you experienced the same in Australia. I'm not quite sure how it astronomically works. You see different stars than we do.
We do
right?
see different stars, yes.
Do you see this? Yeah, the moon should be.
I think it's
same,
no.
though,
I think
right?
the moon.
Yeah.
It depends where you are as well. Are you referring to like the supermoon? Because we had a supermoon.
Yeah, there was. Okay, yeah. So maybe we all had the supermoon.
Yeah.
That was super interesting to watch.
Really cool.
It was so bright. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So maybe he's still gaining power from the supermoon happening this month.
Yeah, maybe when that finally
definitely looks that way.
When
this
that
game.
buff finally fades, Aphelios will be a balanced champion. Maybe. Oh man, oh man.
Oh god, Aphelios, I think is Aphelios the biggest problem that ever happened in terms of champion design?
We might have to come back to it as DNK has engaged here, has the catfish locked up in the cage. There is a lot of ults being spent there, but the Tempered Fate missed. That's something should have happened there, and they're going to try and keep making it happen.
Well, the team has any engage. We are not going to see any fights.
How did you know that nothing was going to happen there when that many ults were burned?
Color custom, by the way.
Another one! Come on, Celebrity, you've got to hit your ult. Or they've just burnt everything and nothing's happened.
It's nice. Now, not all flash, please. All flash, and then we can go back to farming. Enough action. Oh, it's Boros. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Baron is under threat.
Yeah, and also in terms of biggest problem ever, no. Season 3 cast doesn't exist.
Oh, Season 3 casted in. Oh no.
Yeah.
That was
the longest term issue. Like there's been champions that were more broken.
Oh, Season 3 Twisted Fate was a little bit of a problem as well.
Yeah, or Beta Twisted Fate.
Oh yeah. Okay, I've never seen Beta Twisted Fate. Yeah. He was his ult, yeah.
Yeah, and his ult was a global slow. It was ridiculous. Slow. As Team Secret, they are making moves towards Baron. I don't think they quite have the guts to start it, even with the Boros guns. Celebrity being very conservative with his ammo at the moment, so they're definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, they're thinking about rushing. And now the pinks are here. GAM is very far out of position, and Team Secret is trying to cut off at least the push with this clear. And look at the Baron. Baron is still pretty healthy, so they
it's going
haven't
down
been
pretty
able
quickly,
to accelerate
once
this
he
one.
stacks up those chakrams, but no, they're going to back off. They don't want to go. Not yet.
Artifact is looking for something. Oh, the one might.
Artifact gets caught, but there's the Zhonya's. The center ult was burnt there. So that's a big one to get out from GAM. Artifact can reset safely.
Well, this is such a strange game.
A bit more damage being dealt to DNK. How does GAM have so much priority right now? Celebrity, come on, son. Get in there.
Oh, they engage.
Here we
There's
go.
engage.
That's 3 in the Jarvan pit. This is very, very good. Celebrity needs to charge forward. Throws out the ult. He's got a lot of chakrams.
Oh, Celebrity's full HP.
He has, look at the chakrams. He needs to get them throwing, though. He gets the first one onto Levi, and he turns it around onto the next target.
My
and
God.
they're sweeping through GAM. 4 members are dead. Blazers will limp away. And Team Secret is just charging down mid. They don't care about the Baron right now. They want structure damage.
What's going on with GAM? GAM is just getting stomped this game.
Yeah, they didn't.
This is honestly a very good performance on Team Secret. Yeah, I don't really understand why they picked up this team composition. I think Levi just wanted to style a bit. Of course, first place is locked for GAM, so maybe they're actually now trolling a little bit. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. They have the leeway to try new stuff and maybe troll a little bit, but honestly, DBL and Cerberus have to be so insanely unhappy with this one. Please, GAM, stop this bullshit.
This is not over yet. GAM has won games that they had less of a right to win, and we still have potentially 2 more games.
They have great jungle. And Aatrox in the top lane. This game is over.
This is not a best of 1. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That is fair. That is fair. This game, though, is over.
A little bit, yes. Just a touch. So, I mean, while it's over, there's not a huge amount to talk about. I beat Super Mario.
Let's look at the fight.
Yeah, true. Yeah. This was a really good against DNK.
Vanguard's Edge actually doing so much to lock them in place. Artifact tries to go for the flank, but he doesn't hit anyone. And we just have to look at Celebrity. Look at all the chakrams! Wow!
Needs to have a cap. Cap it at 4.
Yeah. I mean, now it's nerfed, so especially from I watched Freak Show, and he talked about the chakram amount. The chakram damage is nerfed, especially for like 6 to 8 chakrams or something, or 1 to 8 chakrams. So you're way weaker if you're on low chakram count. You get almost as strong as now if you get on high chakram count, but honestly, that should be the case. You should be rewarded if you're able to stack up your weapon.
No, he just shouldn't have that mechanic.
I mean, he shouldn't have the weapon in the first place. The weapon is just bullshit. The weapon is just not okay. It's so broken. But if you say the weapon should be implemented, then yeah.
My problem as well is it's just there's no counterplay in it. Right? It's not like you can do anything to stop him.
No. you have to kill him.
Yeah, exactly, which is
death is best to see, of course.
Yeah. I would be much more okay with a lot of what Aphelios did if it was like, yeah, if he stacks his chakrams, he does insane damage, but on 1 chakram, he does less than a normal ADC, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just a normal ADC.
I mean, that has been my biggest problem with him from the start. It's like, why are the utility guns, why do they not have an attack speed punishment? Why do they not have an AD punishment? Hello?
Why do the chakrams also have a turret?
Yeah, I mean,
they're strong enough just with the passive.
Broken as well.
Like, it doesn't need the turret. It's ridiculous.
No, yeah, but honestly, yeah, my biggest problem with Aphelios always was that Severum and Gravitum deal full damage. Yeah. That is just
Speaking of dealing full damage, I think GAM will be dealing it onto Coded as he's dancing as best as he can and makes Levi very upset as he dodges that ult. But, I mean, he bought a couple of extra seconds before the recall could start, so this does allow Team Secret to take a fight in the base.
On the chase.
Yeah, Celebrity's charging forward, doesn't have those chakrams that we've been talking about, but look at the damage coming out of the sniper rifle. It does not matter. Inhib down. Ooh, but here's the TP. GAM doesn't want to let this one... They're not going quietly into that sweet night. And here's Kiaya starting us off, doing a lot of damage. Artifact using the ult to zone. Paulette goes
Celebrity, auto attack, please.
Celebrity needs to get going. Here he is, though. Look at the damage. He is wiggling those arms around. He's Mr. Spaghetti Boy as he's getting so much damage done with this red gun. Artifact should be zoned out. Another ult does miss. He's actually not played a very good Aphelios this game, but has been carried by everything else that's been going on. Stunned up by Dia1. Can he get going? He should be able to press Q as soon as anyone's near him and heal for a hell of a lot. There he is. Mr. Spaghetti Boy is going again. He's got the Gravitum. Can lock them down. Once Paulette comes out, there's the mark being consumed. All of GAM is so low. Can he get this one going? Yes. He goes down into that GA, but Dia1 is dead. This should be Team Secret picking up game 1 over GAM.
Man, Celebrity, that was a disappointing team fight for you.
He still carried it.
I mean, of course he did. I mean, he's the 4-item affiliate. Of course he carries the team fight. So
we are totally done.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're done. Ooh, so Blazes against Celebrity. Nice. Let's see. Blazes.
Oh, doing everything. DNK though.
Oh, Celebrity, come on.
Celebrity didn't want to take the challenge. And no, he did. Secret picking up a game over GAM.
And honestly, a very convincing game. GAM with a very strange draft for this one, and Team Secret punishing them for not having any engaged tools, not having a great early game. And GAM is our early game team, so maybe if you can actually force GAM to play even or even from behind in the mid game, you might actually be able to punish them here and there. ADC difference. ADC difference.
80, yeah, that's definitely one way to put it. Maybe not the ADC player difference in this situation. So, we have to pick it.
Do we have to give it to Celebrity?
I think we have to give it to Celebrity. Right? And it hurts me. Because he didn't play well, but he was why they won.
He was the most important champion on the map, for sure.
They would not have won without him.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's not really another outstanding player. Like I think Coated had very nice already ult, but he also got caught in the end. He didn't actually finish the game alive, so it's taking away a little bit for him. We had Nico trying to look for flanks, but she didn't actually hit any flanks. So I think it's just failures. But honestly,
the Bard honestly didn't. It was okay. It didn't really show why it was picked. I'm going to be honest, but it wasn't bad. But Team Secret,
it was still there.
Team Secret is up 1-0 over GAM. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to see.
Can we see the craziest upset of the week?
Team Secret. Now that would truly be their slump over if they could get one up over GAM. We'll find out in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere, guys, because this could be absolutely mind blowing. We'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody, for Game 2. Of course, as every GAM series, they're up what? Wait a minute. GAM's down. GAM lost Game 1. Team Secret, they're up 1-0. Can they close this one out? Or will GAM fight back and prove why they are the kings? What do you think, Yulwei? Sorry, did Bard just get MVP on the official stream? What?
He did.
What did he do?
122 vision score is very impressive, but he didn't really do a whole lot in the game, to be honest. He cleared wards, I guess, and got 10 assists. So, yeah, nice. A little surprising. He was not the most important champ or player. Honestly, one of the least important champs on the map.
I gotta say,
my opinion.
Are we kind of selling ourselves out? Did we give Celebrity an MVP when the mainstream?
Yeah, we did.
I think.
What can we do now? Every day, I'm not sure.
I need to do some self-reflection. I'd like to apologize to my family. I've let you down. No, but let's get back in and think about Game 2. Who cares about Game 1? That is in the books. GAM have to bounce back here. We don't say it very often. What do you want to see? Well, the thing is, we don't say it often, but we know they can. So I want to focus. Absolutely. I want to continue focusing on Team Secret. What do they need to do to keep the momentum going and lock in another win?
Continue their mind manipulation and force GAM into a bad team composition. I think it's probably the best. The best way. No, honestly, they had a very solid Game 1, and if they pick something different, similar with Celebrity on the hyper carry and the rest, enabling him, I think Secret has a chance here. The odds are still in GAM's favor. GAM is actually playing Kiaya in Game 2 again. That is interesting.
Okay,
so he was not in.
He was fine.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything, as did no one on GAM, because they had no engage and no playmaking. Please don't pick Grace again. The Grace was, not the correct pick in the situation. Yeah, Kindred, yeah, exactly. Just Kindred, even more CC Kappa. Kindred at least can be counter-engaged with her ultimate. Grace just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it is very strange.
Grace on the Rift feels very much like Grace in TFT. he just presses W and then you're blinded. And you're like, that's annoying. But honestly,
yeah, except in Graves in TFT can generate some gold.
Yeah, that's nice. That's true.
Not so much on the Rift, especially not in that game one. But I doubt we'll see the Graves again. We could see Levi going back to the VCS staple of the AP Shyvana. That would be much better than the Graves. That's not a troll pick here.
Things you didn't expect to say at the start of the year.
No. You see, normally when I say the sentence, the VCS standard, and then say something weird, I'm joking, right? Just having a bit of a gag. This is right. No, I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it is.
Literally the VCS standard.
AP Shyvana does actually feel very, very strong if you play her as well. The sheer amount of burst she does on just one item, honestly. I think one item is when you feel it the most. Of course, if you get a few kills and scale up, you can definitely do some insane nukes. But even on one item with only like 2 Dark Harvest stacks or something, it hurts so much. It's like 400 damage on E, and you have, let's say, a 7-second cooldown or something. So if you get 2 E's in, the enemy is already almost dead. So we see Syndra parity here. So
yeah, I mean,
go back to the draft.
This is a pick away, obviously. Syndra is just a strong champion. Team Secret's definitely not upset about picking it, but it's a pick away from Dia 1. But they fire back. Lucian for Dia 1, almost certainly. That's not going to Blazers. That is a Dia 1 Lucian, and Levi on an early game jungler. Yeah, GAM doesn't want to lose a series.
GAM actually played Blazers Lucian once. It didn't look too special, so I want to see the one Lucian. I think he's the best Lucian player on the team, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that Blazers gets the Lucian here, and they go counter pick Dia 1. Echo could be an option. Echo was banned in game 1 for GAM, so they seem to be acknowledging the Echo counter pick into Syndra. They would like to see that happen here as well. It's a little bit anti-VCS style, honestly, because Echo doesn't really want a team fight. He wants to split push. So would be a cool little change to see GAM approach or try their hand at a split push composition.
Absolutely. But now we do have the first half of the Team Secret comp complete. The Olaf was the jungle pickup, Misfortune secured, and obviously the Syndra. What do you think so far, and how would you like to see them change things up? We'll come to GAM after. We'll talk about GAM right after. But tell me your impressions about Team Secret first.
So Secret just has picked a very strong laner so far, and a nice early game jungler, one of DNK's most played and best champions. So I like the draft a lot. Olaf fits the style of game they wanted to play in game 1. Actually, not so much, but more the style they want to go for now, probably. A little bit more scrappy, a little bit more early skirmishing, a little bit more invade heavy with very strong mid lane priority on Artifact. I think this is the game, if Secret is to win, where Artifact outperforms Dia 1 in mid lane and enables his jungler DNK to go into topside jungle and just smash Levi. If Artifact DNK wins the mid jungle 2v2, I think Team Secret just straight up wins the game.
Yeah, all right. And if I climb Mount Everest, maybe I'll get a job at Riot, because it's about as likely, right? It's hard to see Artifact beating Dia 1. Champion is possible to do it. We don't know for sure what Dia 1 will be playing. That Lucian could still be in the bot lane. We'll have to find out. But we'll talk about GAM. We've got an interesting pick in the Yuumi. We don't see that very often, but Paulette has had good performance on it in the past.
Yeah, last season it was one of Paulette's best champs.
Yeah, it absolutely was, as my co-caster just does die for a moment there. He'll be fine, I'm sure. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I just had to sneeze. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So it looks like Jace is coming in. So very poke-heavy composition. Once again, a super squishy GAM. This is risky. This is a very risky approach to the game. If they fall behind, they just straight up lose. It's Lucian from behind, Jace from behind, Elise from behind. Ooh, I'm very scared for GAM now. They have early games honestly have been. That is. Yeah, it's very good into Yuumi. Actually makes sense. Into Yuumi, it makes a lot of sense. It's a Yuumi counter pick. I usually want to pair it with Kalista, but it's still the Yuumi counter pick. And top lane, Coated once again, throwing the gauntlet. It's Irelia into Jace against Kiaya.
Yeah, I mean, Coated looked good on that Irelia in game 1.
Yeah, he did.
He had some very high impact edges. Exactly. I think he looks fantastic. I'm not surprised that he's just running it straight back. That's a mid lane Jace. Okay. Okay.
Wow, GAM's composition is garbage. If they lock this in,
shit.
GAM's composition is...
No, it's Kiaya. Here we go.
Yes, this is much more exciting. It makes the comp a little bit better because a little bit more engaged, a little bit more tankiness is added to the composition. It's very AD heavy though. Yumi needs to get ahead to impact the game and add a little bit of AP damage to force some of the tanks in the enemy team to also build, or also the squishies to build into MR. So if Levi and Palette can get ahead, GAM has a very nice damage profile, scaling well into the later into stages. If Levi falls behind, then they are a little bit heavy on the AD side, and this will be easy for DNK and Venus, maybe even Coated, to pick up some armor items and be very tanky here.
Yeah, it's very, very
worst case scenario for GAM in this composition is Mountain Soul for the enemy team with Dragon priority. I think if Team Secret picks up Mountain Soul, the game is pretty much over. But of course, we have no idea what souls it's going to be. So that's just one possibility, and who knows if Secret even gets priority over Dragon.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Kiaya has gone back to one of his favorite champions.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Finally,
he has picked the Kled. What can he do up there on the High Major Commodore of the 1st Legion, 3rd Multiplication, Double Admiral, Artillery Vanguard Company, the Lord Major Admiral of the 2nd Legion's Forward Artillery Cavalry Multiplication? That's his full title. Just what can he do?
I love Kled so much. What can he do? Yeah, he should win lane against Aurelia. That's the first thing he needs to do, because as I said in the first game, Aurelia from ahead, quite a strong champion. From behind, very squishy, very easy to kill. So the first real goal for Kled here on Kiaya on the Kled is to win lane and smash Coated on the top lane.
Yeah, very, very true. And do you give him a fairly good chance of doing that on the Kled? I mean, we haven't seen Kled in a really long time. I don't even know if is he good at the moment? Or is this just Kiaya wanting to play him?
Don't see why it would be bad. He's not really meta. He's not great. I think he still can see play as a counterpick into some of the more healing-focused champions in the top lane. He offers a lot of engage. Kled, his laning phase is very strange to me. Usually it's very hard to kill Kled in lane, but Kled also, especially in the early parts of the lane, is not that great at killing his opponent. So yeah, I don't really expect top lane to be super explosive early on. Late, Aurelia picks up Blade, right? So on the Blade power spike, I think Aurelia beats Kled pretty easily, because Kled has one of the highest HP totals in game with Gal added to him. So naturally counter-scaling on the Blade of the Rune King will help Aurelia win this matchup. But the sustain from Conqueror and Blade, of course, gets negated by Kled's Q. So it's an interesting matchup. I'd say my personal feeling, even though I'm not super, I don't really have that much in-depth knowledge of this matchup, I would give the advantage over to Aurelia on this patch. But early game should be fine for either side.
I mean, Kiaya was picking Kled when no one else was last split, to be fair. So, and he was playing at mid lane. So if anyone is going to know when it's a good pick, it's probably him.
Hey, Kled got picked on the LPL as well. Mid lane once again. Of course, one of the Kled maestros in the world, Doinby, picking that one back up. So it's definitely playable. And we have to see what Kiaya can do on one of his signature champs. Yeah. He smashed mid lane against almost anyone. He got a solo kill at Worlds with Kled. So
yeah, he did. I was going to say, Kiaya
against Fofo, I think, right?
I think it was against Fofo. I'm sure Vinny remembers it vividly. He can probably tell us if it was Fofo. I mean, it's interesting because sometimes we refer to the VCS as LPL Junior, and Kiaya last split was probably our Doinby Junior because he played really weird things but made them work, and he was on a very, very good team.
Yeah.
Not so much this split, obviously, because he's in the top lane now, and he's been playing a little bit more standard. But he's going back to his roots, and I'm really keen to see how it goes. But let's talk about another lane. Let's talk about the bot lane. Yumi into Volibear is not fun. He's okay. He's fine. They're backing right off.
What I found very interesting with pro Yumis is how they all go Relic Shield, which I found quite puzzling. It's strange to me why Yumi's always gives Relic Shield in pro play.
Safe,
I guess it's much easier. It's much easier to secure the gold, but you lose out on so many nice stats for the Yumi. Always irritates me a little bit, but whatever. She once again went with the Relic Shield. Relic Shield is actually, especially in this matchup, it's actually extra strange for me because it's very scary for Yumi to go out to get the CS against Volibear. You have to remember Volibear has a very easy time denying the W. He just presses E, and then Yumi is caught and one of the lowest HP totals in the game. I think only 1 or 2 champs are lower. Nami and Sona or something.
I think Sona is lower at level 1, but outscales. Which is totally normal, you know, a champion that can literally go untargetable and invulnerable for 90% of the game definitely shouldn't have the lowest base health or anything.
Still one of the funniest changes to Yumi. So they nerfed her by adding 60 base HP.
Yeah, that was funny. The cut down interaction.
That was a nerf for her. Yeah.
It was. It was a huge nerf. But look at this. This is already a bit of a disaster in the bot lane. Team Secret has been pushed off the wave completely. Celebrity's already gone back. Could only get an extra Doran's Blade. Not the worst thing in the world for Misfortune. She can just stack the Dorans. But they've lost priority completely. The opposite of last game.
Honestly, I think this is to be expected early on in this laning phase. I don't think Volibear is tanky enough to really go for trades. He needs a little bit more time. Once he's level 6, I think this becomes a very dangerous matchup for both the bot laners on GAM's side. But early on, there's heal, there's the poke for Yumi. They have range advantage. Of course, Lucian's super strong on the early levels as well. So kind of understandable. It was a little bit worse than it should have been. There shouldn't have been a back timing for Celebrity Force, but it's to be expected that GAM wins the lane early.
Yeah, that's true. I just wouldn't have expected them to win it so hard so early. Even though, in the end, they should definitely come out on top. Up in the top lane, Kiaya does have priority at the moment, but look at how many minions are about to push in, and considering there's only a gap of 4, at the end of what is said, Coded should be on top. The junglers, of course, just power farming. Where would you like to see Levi play around? He is on the Elise. The onus is on him to get things going. Where do you think he goes?
So think about the possibilities of Elise Kled tower dives. You have double turret resets. That's so easy to make work. So I really want to see the top lane dive.
Yep.
If Kled ever gets priority. Right now, it seems to be in trouble, though. Oh, DA1.
That was a lot of damage from DNK. Didn't invest anything except a little bit of time. That was really well done.
And mana, of course.
Of course. I would like to remind
Olaf can go very low on mana, but yeah, it should be fine still.
Sure. I'd like to remind everyone, after Yulwei did outline the possibility of a Kled Elise dive, everyone, you should be washing your hands, because every time you have something that dirty, you need to clean yourselves up. That is an absolutely filthy concept. It is. Here in the top lane, no jungler in sight here for Team Secret. This is going... Oh, good God. That Vanguard could not have missed by any more. But I don't know if it'll matter too much. The Syndra ult comes out. Coded's taking the tower. He's trying to get away. Oh, it's all gone wrong.
My God.
Team Secret, what the hell are you doing? Coded now is in trouble because Skull's come out. And,
no,
dear God. All right. See you guys. Bye. And they get the dragon. Everything went GAM's way. That was horrible by Secret.
That was so unbelievably bad. Now Kiaya is up to a 2-0 start, so Kled definitely viable, as you can see. Everything missed there. And actually, it should be easy to dive the Kled, because... Oh, Coded? Nah, he doesn't have the items to really threaten something here. Now, I'm very interested to see what Kled will go for in terms of itemization, but let's take a look first. Kled, of course, loses a lot of movement speed once he's... Oh, gosh. That Vanguard's edge.
This is such a bad play. Hey, why are you doing
And also, look
this
at Coded. Coded, why are you going back there? Just run. Run. What is going on? Oh, Coded. Completely forgot about Kled passive. I didn't even know what to say. He just went up to Kled when Kled had 90% of his whatever his resource bar is called.
Oh no, courage.
Rage.
It's courage.
Courage.
Yeah, because it's Skull's courage.
90% of Skal's courage was built back up, and he just went there, didn't really commit to a kill, but also didn't really go away. So Kled just got back on Skal, got his ultimate back, and easy.
Just
charged on top of him.
Yeah, like,
I love the ability name. One of the greatest ability names in game.
Yeah, it's top 3 in my opinion.
Supreme display of talent takes the cake, of course, but
I reckon Supreme display of talent's 3rd for me. Charge is probably like 7th. I'd have to think about what. There's a lot of good ability names.
Gnar. Gnar's ultimate is just called Gnar.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Gnar's a great champion. There's a lot of good champions.
There's a lot of cool ability names. For sure.
I like Crowstorm.
Oh, we talked about. What was the champ we talked about? Oh, Aurelion Soul's
Aurelion
names.
Soul, how all of his names are
Celestial
completely over the top. Yeah, his passive. Aurelion Soul's not in this game, but we did a practice cast where there was an Aurelion Soul. There's nothing happening. Aurelion Soul's ability names. His passive is called Center of the Universe. Boss. Q is Star Surge. That's kind of boring. Celestial Expansion, Comet of Ages, and Voice of Light.
Comet of Ages.
What an absolute Chad. But speaking of Chad plays, GAM has moved everyone up to the top lane. They want to get tower plays. They want to get the Rift Herald. And yeah, GAM loses 1 game. They don't lose 2.
Yeah, it really does not seem likely. I talked a little bit about Aurelia from behind. Look at her HP total. She actually has less HP to work with than the Lucian on the other side, or it's almost equal at least. So this is a very squishy Aurelia, very easy to kill. She's sitting on some AD and some lifesteal, which is very much useless against dives. So Code is in for a very bad game.
Coded? Questions being asked. That was a bit of a weird one. But the Rift Herald now summoned up. Ooh, the dash was denied there by Venus, but look at the damage that Kiaya does. Stopping the Volibear, healing were he to go low as well. GAM absolutely stomping out this one. Also, just another really good ability name. Urgot's old ult, Hyperkinetic Position Reverser.
Still? Is it still the name?
No, now it's not.
It was the old Urgot's name, yeah.
No, it was the Urgot.
Urgot, but
it's swap. Now it's something about killing.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, Shelly, what is going on? Shelly,
yeah,
with
she got
some
a bit confused.
Big problems. Yeah, Coated can now try to freeze and farm up his first item spike. Honestly, if he goes to 1 item, he might actually still be able to win against Kiaya, even on 0-0 and 0-1 and 0, of course. So it's just farming time for Coated.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's farming time for everyone on Team Secret. So
yeah, no, they can't do anything. GAM got off to an absolute banger of a start. Very much angry about Secret start in game 1 and wanted to prove that they are still the early game team. But that said, if Team Secret can wrap a bandage around the big stab wound and they can stop the bleeding, they very well outscale, I think.
Yeah. I think their scaling is definitely looking very bright. It's not like GAM from ahead scales well. GAM's comp is very strange. As there's an aspect to the comp where they don't scale very well from behind. They actually scale very badly from behind, especially because Levi then cannot threaten MR items on the other side. Yep. From ahead, GAM actually scales decently well. Their damage profile looks better if Levi is a little bit stronger. If Yumi gets to some items, the damage profile looks decent, not super great. They still have very low range. So against Syndra in the late game, against Volibear, it's not easy to fight. And their side lane should be outscaled by Coded, especially if Coded can farm up a little bit more. So I agree, outscaling on the side of Team Secret. It's not as severe, though, as if it was, if GAM was behind. So I think for the next, 20 minutes, GAM is still fine. Then if we go to 35 minutes, then maybe it gets a little bit scarier.
Yeah, potentially. And we do go on to the Infernal Rift. I forgot to make you pick, because I wanted to continue my streak. But, oh well, maybe next game. Hey, it's still a streak, because I haven't gotten it wrong. As there is a lot of ults being burned here, just over a bit of a red buff fight. I think 3 ults used, 2 by GAM, 1 by D&K. But in the end, the red buff did go over to GAM. So they're pretty happy, and they've got priority in the mid lane as well. They're going to continue to build this gold lead with more and more tower plates. Never mind, bullet time.
Bullet time. Bullet time from behind is also one of those abilities you just use to clear waves.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Ooh, teleport down into the bot lane is arriving. Venus is trying to rush forward. There's the flash. There's the flip. Coded misses another Vanguard's edge.
Oh, no.
But it doesn't matter this time, thank God. As Blazers does go down.
Yeah, at least he hit the more important stun, of course. Like, Vanguard's edge is almost a stun because the slow is like 90%, so
Venus
that's not too
now
great.
Taking a bit of damage, has to run away. They're
Teleport's coming in as well.
Scared of this 4v3.
Charge
is called. Here he comes. Can they turn it around? Artifact is coming. This could be a 5v4, but I think Team Secret will just say, we got to kill. Let's get the hell out.
Oh, that's actually very nice for Team Secret. They reset the tempo. They will lose some turret damage in the bot lane, maybe even the whole turret. Some might need to stay. Artifact is staying here, but is he enough to defend against 3? He's level 10. Yaya is looking very scary. 2,500 HP already.
Yeah, he's a big... I think they'll be able to defend it for now. There's a back.
Yaya is actually a big problem from Team Secret in the late game. They don't have the tank shredding ADC. MF can, of course, deal a lot of damage to the front line as well. She's not really designated to do that, though. One of the worst ADCs when it comes to crit ADCs to shred front lines, because she doesn't really build attack speed. She doesn't really go for high auto attack DPS builds. She wants to have strong Qs, strong ultimates. She still gets a decent amount of attack speed through strat, of course, but it's not quite enough to kill Kiaya from ahead. So he might be the main carry here for GAM. He got all the kills. But I want to talk about something different. So think back to the start of the split for GAM. How would you describe a GAM early game, usually?
Super aggressive.
Super aggressive, right?
Yeah, they were constantly
bot lane dives. Indeed. What happened in the last few weeks to GAM? GAM is so much more tame in the early game. They are actually losing early games now. This early game, you have to think back. Yeah, go ahead.
On that point, do you think that's a bad thing?
Honestly, with how they looked, I think it is. They have looked so much weaker to me. They were stomping everyone, even Flash in the early games. Now they've lost early games to Secret. They've lost an early game to Flash. They even lost early games to FTV and EVOS. So suddenly, GAM is not looking as dominant anymore.
That's true, but I want to add a question onto it. They have been pretty much secured first place, maybe not mathematically, but in all bounds of reality, for a long time, right? Is it not better to practice coming out of the early game, even or perhaps even a little bit behind? Isn't it good to practice that? Because they're not going to kick the shit out of everyone internationally. Doesn't this make them potentially stronger in MSI? If they're doing this, if there is a little bit of intention to it. If they're just losing because they're playing worse, then yeah, that's not good. But if they're intentionally not making the early game plays as much, I think that improves them.
There's a little bit of a divide in opinions between most of our fans and my opinion on GAM. I personally like to see teams from minor regions or worse regions, like, oh wow, that was a good sound, to go for one specific thing and excel at that one. In my opinion, a minor region team will never win against a major region team if they are jack of all trades, master of none. I think the way to go as a minor region team is to be master of something and scare or shock the better teams, or maybe even be better at that aspect. So for me, it's not the right way to go. More conservative. Try to be perfect at the aggression. Then you can even win against other teams, because early game is not that different. Early game is actually plannable.
I sort of agree. I agree that a minor region team isn't going to... Oh, never mind. We'll come back as Charge has been called. Coda gets died. Artifact immediately sent to the grave. The Vanguard lands this time. Woohoo! But it doesn't matter, as it didn't do anything. A lot of damage being dealt by the bullet time if Team Secret does want to turn it around, but it doesn't matter. The shot blast comes in and the bear goes to the death realm, even though Mordekaiser's not in the game. GAM with another dominant fight. This should get them a dragon. TNK, you've got a...
Wait, where's TNK? What?
He was trying to sneak the dragon to stop the soul.
Yeah, he does not know that his team is dead. That is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he does not know where his team went. But to go back to that previous discussion, I think it is great. I think it's really interesting. I agree with you. I don't think a minor region team should try to be a jack of all trades if international success is their immediate goal. But I don't know how much better GAM can get at the early game aggression in the VCS. They are already by far the best, and if GAM goes for the early game aggression and does it well, they already kill everyone in the VCS. So do they need to practice? But let's come back to it after this replay.
Yeah, look at Kiaya's flank here. Charge on top of Coated. Coated with a flash actually helps Kiaya out because Kiaya can get deeper into the enemy team because his charge, of course, follows. The Dia1 has to flash out, but that's not too bad. And now look at also Yumi's projectile here, curling it back and forth so it can hit the Volibear, even though he flashed away. Oh, he didn't even flash, but he tried to run away. So nicely done there for Palat, and nice snipe from Dia1 at the backhand. Very easy team fight for GAM. And once again, Kiaya with an impressive flank. 2-0-3, 100% kill participation.
Yeah, he's absolutely killing it at the moment. And, there's another bit of a brawl down here on that Kiaya, but it doesn't matter. The rest of GAM has arrived. This is not good at all. Venus flashes over the wall. Coded is here for moral support, but that's about it. Levi goes...
Run, bear, run!
And I think the bear might be sent to the grave by the bug. And DNK, he's just saying, well, I'm going to buy as much time as humanly possible. Manages to break that tether, but the shot blast manages to break his face as he goes down. And GAM!
So can we get to the third game, please?
Yeah,
this one is not interesting anymore.
Wrap it up, guys. This is over. GAM does not take a loss lying down.
So what you want to say is GAM should sandbag the early game to practice late game.
Sandbag. I'm saying don't necessarily pick. Sandbag a little bit, but don't necessarily super hard force. Like they didn't go for their bot lane dive. Even this game.
No.
The thing that got GAM so far ahead wasn't
the botch
actually
dive
GAM.
from the top lane, yeah.
It was a botched dive by Team Secret. And I like that GAM is practicing, because these games don't matter. But let's have a look at this. I mean, there's not much to say in this replay. Look how ahead GAM is. Look at this. This is just...
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Nothing hits Venus, but he still dies to the targeted abilities. That's unfortunate. And DNK actually outruns the queue here. I'm running away.
He's got his Nikes laced up real tight, okay? He's got those Air Jordans on. I don't know anything about it. Are they the same? My shoes were $20 from Target. I'm barefoot right now.
I think, yeah, same here. Of course.
Who would wear
online
shoes
casting,
inside?
yay.
Like, honestly. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, for all you viewers out there, we could be not wearing pants. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Actually, I am, though.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Oh, today.
But you don't know. We could be telling a lie. Spicy. $50 on the Patreon tier, and we'll reveal this pant secret.
Okay.
I'm joking. The pant secret is I'm wearing jeans. Oh, my. You know what a secret I'd love to be revealed? What's Secret doing?
Do tell. Yeah.
What are they doing?
That is a good question. Does not know, would like to know that as well. His team has let him down a little bit in this game. The only time he died was actually in the bot lane.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't do much. I still don't know why they went for that top lane dive without him. Why actually did you not just wait for your jungler?
Honestly, though, the top lane dive was just misexecution. I think the call was great. I think you can definitely dive on with these two champions. You have a lot of damage, and they played it correctly. Just the Vanguard's edge didn't hit, so they didn't hit the initial slow. But actually, Syndra almost played it perfectly. Syndra waited for the reset for the demount to come in, and then immediately pressed ult. Oh, Coded on the flank. Look at him.
Has come in on the teleport flank. This is the last chance saloon. Can he actually get in, though? Here it is. The Vanguard's edge will land for once. He's diving in. Can they get anything done whatsoever? I don't think it is. Vanguard's edge. The Vanguard's dead. All right. Seriously, guys, can we wrap this
honestly,
up?
If you do that, you can just press FF.
Yeah.
That is griefing. What he just did was the definition of griefing.
Negative gaming.
Negative gaming. Okay, sorry.
There is a term for this. Maybe bring Hani in for Game 3, lads.
Yeah. Coded already has not impressed me too much.
Okay, in Game 1, he wasn't why they won.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was.
Please don't put Hani in and then put Hani on Aurelia. Please don't do that.
That's very cursed.
I don't want to see Hani Aurelia.
Celebrity has been found by his adoring fans, but manages to get away from the paparazzi. Well done.
He's wearing so much gold. He's very easy to spot for the paparazzi. It's,
true. Maybe that's why they couldn't get onto him though, because they take a photo and it like flashes back.
Yeah, makes sense. So Infernal Soul.
Yeah, Infernal Soul. What have you been doing with your
Jake's Infernal Soul?
I mean, okay, you want to talk about the game? That's fine. I don't know. There's a bunch of
cast. No. Let's go there. Pretty much casting and playing League all day. It's League all day. We start like our practice at from when I wake up to like the afternoon. Then I cook something, a little bit of exercise, and then League for the rest of the day. It's great routine.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I've been pretty much doing casting practice and playing Mario.
Switch, yeah, nice. I've actually been playing Switch when I go for my walks because I'm trying to keep up on my Japanese. So I bought a Japanese what's it called, visual novel game.
Wait, so you walk down the street looking down at your Switch?
Yeah, of course.
You nerd.
That's what the Switch is for.
You nerd.
Who the fuck cares?
Oh, but here we go. Charge once again as here comes Kiai and he gets onto no one. But it was fun, and he gets onto them in the end. And look at all that damage. Team Secret, it's a secret as to where they've gone. That's a triple kill for Celebrity, and it was 2 kills stolen away from the pentakill. Please seriously move on, guys. I'm so bored.
Yeah, please finish this game. No minion wave, so they have to go to Baron. It's too scary to push in, especially with Ki on 3k HP. It's just they just can't do.
To be fair, the towers do get the backdoor plating.
Team Secret's owners or something followed us, right? Can we not just tell them to surrender, please?
Yeah, if you
watch it, please surrender.
Yeah, I mean their Twitter account is using our clips for their highlights, presumably because
probably not for this game though.
I mean, well, yeah, they got to have highlights. I love you, Team Secret, but come on, guys. This one's not great. It was cool. It was really cool that they acknowledged. I presume it's because Team Secret as a brand is more English speaking.
Yeah, it's nice. Actually, very surprised that Team Secret picked up a team in the minor region, and the minor region that is very disconnected from the English-speaking world normally. Yeah. So. Was quite surprised when I heard that. But it's cool. It's cool to see.
It gets them into League, right? Because Team Secret hasn't ever really gone into League. They're a big Dota team, if I'm not mistaken. A big Dota org, I should say.
I would like to have the logs of the conversations for Loki owners speaking to Secret. Like, hey, we have this prodigy top laner. He's called Hani. Like, He's been in VCS for a long time. He's been third place and second place. Yeah, who cares?
No, I mean, I think and then Secret would have been responded with, I've got 30 cents in my pocket. I'll give you that.
Yep, we'll take that.
Yep, sure. Yep. Well, we can maybe pay a player now.
But the real question is Hani better than Huni right now? Because Huni's inting in an A, so who knows?
And I mean, NA. Obviously worse than the VCS.
Right now, I mean, if you remove C9, I honestly believe VCS teams could win.
It's pretty bad. But just by the way, GAM won.
Game is over.
They won about 20 minutes ago, but the Nexus exploded.
Well, that took a little bit too long. GAM, please step up your game.
We get cracking, boys. Come on. We are going to Game 3. There's not much to say about that one. PI or MVP?
GAM series are interesting to pass.
They're fun. Don't get me wrong. It's good. I get to hang out with my friend for like 45 minutes. There'll always be one game where we can just chat. We just hang out.
Yeah, it's true. There's not a lot of analysis to be had. Hey, Kiaya got a double kill. Now the game is over. Nice. Yep. Can we move on, please?
So, I mean, speaking of Kiaya, we going to lock him in for MVP?
Absolutely.
Yep, lock that in.
You deserve that one.
100%.
More Kled, please.
Yep, and Team Secret, I will say, that game, for me, doesn't write Team Secret off. They could still win Game 3, because that was just a series of mistakes. If they don't make those mistakes, maybe they can pick up Game 3. GAM, still the heavy favourite, of course. They almost certainly win next game, but considering it's going to a Game 3 at all, we're already breaking expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to consider every single game, you give GAM something like an 80-90% chance to win. So even after the off chance of the 10% where Team Secret sneaks the game, you still give over 80% for the next two games. So it's still likely that GAM wins 2-1. But Secret still has one chance remaining, and if they were to be beat GAM today, that would be such a huge spike for their playoff race.
Oh god, yeah, it'd be massive. But we'll
One more opportunity.
We'll find out in about 5 minutes if they can bounce back or if it will be GAM returning us to the planet. Don't go anywhere, guys. We love having you here. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, for a Game 3 that no one expected us to get to. But here we are. Game 2 wasn't much of a game, so maybe this is Game 2.5.
Yep,
Team Secret did win Game 1, but GAM made sure that no one doubted their position as the Kings of Vietnam, as they absolutely came in, and it looked like a bot game with how hard Team Secret did get stomped. So, we often talk about the fact...
Even bots don't go for dice like that.
True.
So cut them some slack, okay? Bots are not that dumb. They can run into turrets if you manipulate the AI, but... They won't die for you.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Bots were better than Secret in that game. But now, I know we always give, like, any game, doesn't matter if it's a Game 1, a Game 2, or Game 3, we always give GAM like an 85% chance to win it. Is it still 85, or are you even less confident in Team Secret now?
Oh, interesting question. I think 85 is a good percentage.
Okay.
First game, if GAM fumbles draft again, and if Artifact steps up, I think Team Secret has a low chance of winning, but not as low as like 5% only. So I think, if those two things come together, Team Secret is looking at something like a 30-35% chance. So for those two things to happen, there's a chance of like 50%, I'd say. So we are probably looking at something like 50% to 20%.
Okay, well, that's not the best situation for the Secret boys. But...
That was a super useless mathematic explanation.
It was so useless. I just let you roll with it because I had to reply to something on Discord anyway, so I was just letting you roll. But that was completely useless. Regardless, you know what else was completely useless? Team Secret in Game 2. So we have to hope they bounce back from that. hey, look, I'll put it out there. Up until last week, I had never assigned a fan role on our Discord. I have now got the Team Secret fan role, so I'm allowed to talk shit about them. I'm a Team Secret fan. Totally. Not just because of Harney.
There we go.
And definitely not just because they link to us on Twitter.
Zeros is in.
And that's unsurprising. They're always going to give the prodigal son at least one game. So, what do we want to see picked, particularly for Team Secret, or what do we not want to see picked for GAM, if you want GAM to win?
Well, Zero said that one in Aatrox game, so maybe go away from Aatrox. I want to see something spicy from Zeros. Maybe Kalista top lane. I would like to see Fiora, or maybe something like Camille. He's a very good Camille player, so give me something a little bit more spicy in the top lane. I didn't want to see Aatrox over Mordekaiser or Set again. Luckily, Set and Renekton are banned, so none of these dumb melee champs in the top lane so far. Maybe Cannon. Zeros is actually a good Cannon player as well. So
very good Cannon. So We'll have to find out. The Elise has hit the ban list, so Levi will not be getting that early game jungler. Well, actually, they banned it out, so he's not getting it. Does he go back to the Graves? Because that didn't look great.
Oh, please no. please no Graves again. We want to see an actual game. First game was 4v5. Second game was 5v0. So let's please see a little bit of 5v5, at least for a few minutes.
That's a little bit painful there, as Aphelios is picked up for Blazers. That's the one champion he's had really standout performances on. Could see the Senna as an answer, but they're hovering the Ezreal at the moment. This doesn't make sense as a pick this early. They've locked it in.
As for Yuumi, could be a possibility here. Yuumi was successful last game. It's very early. Ezreal actually rose to priority back in some regions. I like Ezreal a lot. Into Aphelios, it's a little... I would have liked to see Kalista, but Kalista is really not a celebrity champ, but over Senna is always surprising as well.
Yep, and there is the Nico as well. The Chameleon is very much back in the VCS meta, and a few other places as well. So Artifact took on that one. He had a pretty good performance in game 1, if I'm not mistaken. So,
do you know who was one of our best top lane Nico players last season?
I know who you're referring to. It's either Neven or Hani, right?
It's Hani. Hani was one of the best top lane Nikos. Yeah, he's not in, though, so no top lane Nico to be expected.
I think we got a little hint on Twitter during the break that he's sick.
Oh, he's sick.
Hint.
Oh,
they wasn't officially confirmed. They replied to a tweet asking where Hani is with some skulls. I assume he's sick. But, I mean, Coded, game 2 was pretty horrible, but the rest of Coded Split hasn't been too bad, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It looks like Paulette wants to pick up the cat once more.
Oh, so pick away from the Yuumi. I want to see heavy bot lane dive now. Aphelios Yuumi has almost no defensive capabilities, especially pre-6, so just pick something that can dive bot lane. I would like to see Leona. You could go for Tahm Kench if you wanted to go for aggressive Tahm Kench. So please just give me some bot lane dive. Don't let this Yuumi Aphelios scale for free.
That would be
that can go bot lane. That's nice.
It would be very depressing if they just let this Aphelios scale for free. I mean,
it's potentially the strongest scaling bot lane ever.
Potentially?
Yeah, both champs scale ridiculously well in the late game. Yuumi also. Aphelios Yuumi, oh man. Think back to the one. Oh, actually, we early on in the split when Soraka top lane was still meta. Rest in peace, Soraka.
Rest in shit,
she was played. Oh, she's back 10-6, by the way.
Make your damn point.
Yeah, G2 played her with Aphelios, and there was one fight where G2 had Soraka behind Aphelios, and he went down to 100 HP 3 times in one fight, and Soraka always topped him up to almost full HP again. Yumi's able to do almost the same, so we might see a similar thing out of Blazers. And maybe the first ever Blazers MVP. I think he's not gotten one yet.
We'd have to check. He doesn't get them very often. As look at these top lane bans coming in. Jax and Fiora being removed. Interesting stuff.
On the side of GAM.
Yeah, I mean, they're presumably going to send Irelia top for Zeros.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised
Jax makes a little.
But I'm surprised that Zeros isn't confident enough to throw down the gauntlet, particularly against Coded, who kind of plays a bit like Hani, where you just kind of want to stick him on safe stuff, but he's picked up that Jace. All right.
It can still... Oh, actually, Sneeko picked up. Yeah, so Jace is very likely to go top lane.
Yeah, I mean, technically they can
support.
Place,
now I want to see something spicy. If Team Secret gives me something like Braum or Leona now, I will be furious. This is very likely to be in... Yeah. But honestly, it's just a Volibear. It's just going to be a Volibear.
Yeah, it makes sense. It is a good counter to the Yuumi. It doesn't do a huge amount for this comp. I would really like to see something with a little bit better engage. Levi goes to the Lee Sin, though. And
Lee Sin LeBlanc. Ooh.
That's scary. But Levi has had some bad Lee Sin games.
That's true.
We might have to start talking about Levi as well as Melee. Of course,
this is Levi the first ever LeBlanc in year 1.
Really?
Yeah, this at least this split.
I think you played it last split. That's big.
Yeah, I think so.
Year 1 hard carry on this. That's a bad pick into Yuumi. It's a really bad pick into
It actually does not make too much sense into Yumi. I agree. But it's a cool pick. So we see a Bard again. Well, they won on Bard in game 1. He got the MVP for some reason. Apparently, he was impactful. Spoiler, he didn't really do anything. But
Yumi doesn't get affected by the ult.
It's true, yeah. I mean, you can still pressure Yumi in lane. It's not only about the ult, of course. Bard is super strong on level 2, level 1, even if you land the Q. And Yumi, it's not quite as easy to stun 2 people at once, of course, because Yumi is inside Aphelios. But if she ever tries to jump back to Aphelios and you time your Q picture perfect, then you can actually stun her out of her W, and she's just dead. If you get this stun, she's just dead. She has no chance of ever escaping there. So it's super hard to do, though. You have to time it so insanely well to hit that stun, but it would be very interesting, very cool to see.
I was just looking at Yumi's splash art. Read it again. Why does a cat have eyebrows? Cats don't have eyebrows; they have fur.
I've never seen that before. Yeah, you're correct.
Why? Why does and it doesn't? Like, I don't understand. Why does the cat have really pronounced eyebrows?
Well, it actually makes her look. Yeah, it makes her look a little weird. now I can't unsee it.
Right? You can't unsee it. I've ruined it.
Well, if you've done this to me, I can never play Yumi again. Oh no. It's so weird.
It's weird. I still like Yumi. She's cute, but I don't know why she's got really thick eyebrows. But let's talk about things that matter.
With heterochromia on Yumi.
Yeah.
It's very common in cats, and I love heterochromia. It looks so cool.
My cat has heterochromia. Or my parents' cat.
Right.
I got 3 legs. He's had a rough one.
Oh.
He got caught in the possum trap and chewed his own leg.
Is he alright?
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, no.
I don't know, like, something to note about cats is they are, like, the most resilient creatures on the planet. He got caught in a possum trap, chewed his own leg off, walked home.
He did what?
He chewed his own leg off.
What?
Yeah, to get out of the possum trap.
Oh, that's horrible.
It is horrible. He got home, though, and, like, Mum walked out, and he was, like, sitting with the damaged leg away, and she was like, he looks okay, but there's something a bit wrong. And then she picked him up, and it was really obvious. Took him to the vet. The vet was like, well, I could make him a prosthetic, but it would cost like $5,000. And trust me, he doesn't need it. I'm just going to amputate it. Did. Came home. As soon as the anesthetic wore off, he was fine. He was only unsteady while he was still a bit drugged from the anesthetic. Cats are super resilient.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he's a good boy. I like him.
Pet stories.
Yeah, I've had in my life.
I've only really had guinea pigs, and those are very cute.
I love guinea pigs.
They're
illegal here, though.
But they,
no, hamsters.
Oh, really?
Hamsters are illegal. Guinea pigs are legal here.
Interesting. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. There was a time when not a single rabbit was in Australia, right? They got introduced from Europe, right?
Yeah, from colonization, and they are pretty much the worst thing that colonization did to
Australia.
Yeah,
I know.
And that's saying a fucking lot, because colonization was very bad to Australia. They are a horrific pest. Not as bad as cane toads.
I've heard about that before. Yeah.
Cane toads are also horrible. Zeros gets a good trade here. Zeros takes a bad trade here. I got my players mixed up. Let's
get back to the game for a little bit.
What are we doing? Get in. Get us back on track.
So 3 minutes in, and we haven't really seen anything. So it wasn't actually too bad to talk about pets a little bit, but let's focus on what is actually happening here. We have 2 interesting team compositions, very squishy from Team Secret, apart from Sejuani. So I want to see botlane dives. I think it's possible. It's not super easy to do on this team comp, but they should still try to force it, because I think letting Aphelios and Yumi freely scale is not a great feat.
It's not an option, really. But if they let it happen, I think they just lose.
Honestly, looking at the scaling, it's very strange. For GAM's team composition is a little off theme. They have scaling aspects in bot and top lane. It's very strong with scaling aspects in bot lane and decent scaling options in top lane. But then mid and jungle is just full early game power. It's one of the strongest mid jungle 2v2s. So
yeah,
it's a little different. Honestly, I want to see a style for GAM where they focus mid jungle and just apply insane amounts of pressure mid jungle, so that the enemy team has to respond to mid jungle, and all the other lanes get to freely scale. That's what I want to see out of GAM.
That'd be super interesting. I don't necessarily think this LeBlanc is going to fall off that hard. There's only one real tank for Secret, so she can definitely still assassinate people. Zeros coming forward here onto Coded. Could go for the kill, and that's an easy kill. Zeros, the man comes in, the man says, oh, this isn't solo kill, but I've got a solo kill anyway.
Yeah, and Zeros on already has a treat to watch. It's a very good champ for him. And I am very excited to see what he can do after Kiaya popped off with his special pick. This is one of Zeros' special picks. So it's very nice to see both top laners succeed, and Coded might die again. Ooh.
He's trying to turn it around, but he gets the bad end of that trade. Nearly went for the
and of course, Zeros has a lot of sustain on this Aurelia. Yep. Q sustain for Aurelia is disgustingly high, even in the early game. You can see she's almost back to full HP.
Yep, and the combo with the corrupting pot as well. He burnt all the charges of. This is going to be a rough one for Coded. He is definitely being put up against it, having to go against Zeros' Irelia. Whenever we have Zeros on a high execution champ, it's always a treat to watch, but a little bit of a nightmare to be the one to play against, I'm sure.
Yeah, and let's look at the replay here. As my stream is sadly in 144 PB, but there we go, better quality now. So Zeros just gets the drop on the stun, and even inside the minion wave, no problem whatsoever to get the kill. And more action in the bot lane, DNK and the Artifact. Oh no, it's only Artifact. Artifact faked that one.
Always spooky, that Nico passive. I like when it works. I love when casters get caught in, even though it's me most of the time. I think it's really funny. But GAM should be able to get the first blood and the first Drake. They get both bites of the apple here. And it's looking good again. Team Secret needs to fire back. Where can Team Secret start fighting back from, and when?
So, wow, Team Secret actually has a very defensive team composition. They don't really have aggressive CC outside of maybe you could count Bard ultimate. Sometimes you can use it aggressively. You can count the engage from Sejuani, but other than that, not really anything. Jace can be an aggressive champ, but his fighting position is pretty defensive most of the time. So Team Secret is actually not really able to force too many plays. I still think bot lane is the one place where they have enough tools to dive. So just try to force a bot lane fight. Maybe you could try to exploit overextensions for Zeros a little bit. It's already looking quite scary, though. He's sitting on 3 long swords, so quite a lot of AD there. Might be able to turn around on DNK. So actually not the greatest composition to fall behind with and try to fight back. They scale decently well, but they have to stop the bleeding.
That's so filthy. Zeros gets another solo kill. He goes down to the tower afterwards. He couldn't have broken the tower. The shot had already come out. He was dead. He just got an extra minion or two.
Well, that third shot looked like it was not going off, but then it did.
I think it was just going off. That's why Zeros looked a bit weird there. But that was on the edge of tower range. If that had been a couple of pixels further out, that was just another clean solo kill for Zeros. He's here to play.
Yeah, he is.
Have some aggressive
CS lead only at 12, so he still needs to get back to his 40 CS every game form. But at least the solo kills are here, so that's exciting to see. And Team Secret is looking at top lane like, we replaced Hani to not have this happen, please.
I thought Hani was sick. And yeah, here's this replay. It's just once again flawless duet lands and Zeros goes.
Jet, yeah. Very good follow up with the ult as well. Easy to do there. There's the tertiary. Okay, there it was. That was, yeah. I think he was very close to getting out of there.
I don't think he could have gotten out, but
no. I don't think so either.
It was very close to him being allowed to get it. He did everything right. Something I wanted to comment on is the one thing for Team Secret here is that even from behind, they do actually have a really filthy wombo combo team. If you hit a Bard ult onto, say, 3 people, you can very easily instantly layer it into Nico, into Sejuani, and then just kill everyone. That happens even from behind. It's not easy to land, but it can happen, and it gives Team Secret at least a chance, no matter what.
Yeah, that's an exciting prospect. I wanted to focus on something very micro-based, and that's Zeros' build. Look at him. He's not going for the new build. He's actually going for the old Irelia build. And it makes a lot of sense for me, because this is an adaptation. Yeah. Oh, man. Now they know. They invested so much to get there, and they will lose a few turret plating in the bot lane. Oh, there were a few, I say, but it's of course, it's white gun, so it's more than a few.
We gotta love it. Artifact in the mid lane has to use the Pot Blossom to survive the pressure from Dia1 and Levi, and it might be the bot lane tower being traded for a Rift Herald. That's a bad trade. But at least it's a
nicely
trade.
done from Artifact there to have his clone tank the skill shot. That was actually very smart. But they might still lose the bot lane turret. Aphelia's push power.
Oh, no, it just survives for now.
Yeah, the next wave is approaching, though. So it's only a matter of time.
Get it.
And top lane is another fight. Look at that.
Is a little bit caught, but maybe he's not caught as he throws out the Vanguard's edge, but they just use it to back off. Rift Herald was secured here for Team Secret, so at least they can answer a turret with a turret. It's not a good situation, but at least it is something.
Honestly, the more I look at Vanguard's Edge, the more I think they just couldn't come up with a good idea. So they went like, which champ is very different from Irelia, but has this ult we could steal for her? Let's go Thresh. It does the same thing, just a little bit. The angle is a little bit different. It gives her a stack of oppressive.
I think it's thematically quite cool.
Yeah, but it's still just Thresh ult with swords, honestly.
True, but I still think it's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. It does a lot. It actually gives you a lot of playmaking ability. Old was atrocious. I have this one. I don't know if you know people like that. I have this one friend who insists that every single rework is bad, and I'm like, okay, let's look at some reworks. Let's look at Irelia. And she was like, yeah, he's weird. I told him, come on, let's look at Irelia. Old Irelia was very straightforward, not a whole lot to play for, very uninteresting to play against, very uninteresting to play. New Irelia does so much more things, and he was like, no, the new ult is dumb. The old ult was better. I was like, old was literally just pressing R 4 times. That is not an interesting ult.
I mean, I think almost all the reworks have been, like the full reworks have been really good. The only one I think is a valid complaint is Aatrox, because it's not Aatrox anymore. It's a different champion. And I
like the champ, but it's different.
Yeah, exactly. You genuinely could have had old Aatrox and new Aatrox in the game as different champions. Fair enough, that complaint, but to say that like Poppy is a bad rework, that it's just wrong.
Akali is another one you could argue.
Yeah, Akali isn't great. Even though old Akali was an abomination as well. People forget that.
Yeah,
she was never very good.
I agree.
Like, she was an abomination.
She was fun to play, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, Blaze is dead.
Oh, yeah. Nope. Yeah, you're right, actually. I thought I was reading the wrong health bar there. His Blaze is dead.
What happened?
You get a replay?
Please, observers. Please.
To be fair, I think we were pretty caught out. I didn't expect Blazes to be going down anytime
but why did...
So. Teleport
exactly
has been used.
Oh,
They're going to take the 4v5 here. Levi going in. The kick's been used. Coded super low. Venus as well has to flash away. Zeros wants to find onto this chase, but he's more interested in the Ezreal. Celebrity flashes over the wall. Coded just still running. I mean, he's pretty far away. If he can dodge everything, maybe he can get...
Oh, Blazes. Look at Blazes. Blazes could get this one. No.
Oh, yeah, they could have actually funneled him to Blazes there, but no, they just give it over to Levi. That's just fine. In the end, it's a 1-for-1. I'd still love to see how Blazes got caught out.
Yeah, he didn't use Flash or a barrier, so it must have been a very, very quick CC combo. So let's look at this. DNK just ults him here, probably. Venus. Wait, what? What is going on? Flash.
I don't think you can get away there. There was a lot of damage. DNK, speaking of not being able to get away, there's DNK in the top lane going down. Coded has arrived, and I think he's already regretting the teleport. Oh, never mind.
Wow.
Find the hammer down. On to Dia1. Often we see Dia1 die, but he's finally gone down. Zeros charging forward. He's got Levi, and he's got his cat here. And the cat raises an eyebrow as she gets another assist.
That she does, yeah. So Coated is playing is on the edge all the time here in this game. He's trying to go for kills. He's successfully gotten 3 kills, all the kills of his team actually. But also given up 4. So not quite there. Not quite there on the level of Zeros. Of course, gave up a solo kill very early on. But he's actually sitting on more kills than Zeros is. That has to be annoying for him.
Yeah, I think Zeros is looking to change that one. You know, the man's got pride. Good on him. He deserves it. So somebody got a little bit of alone time, but dear God. You know how we talked about not letting Aphelios Yumi scale up? I'll just have a quick sticky beak at the CS numbers for the bot laners.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Not great. And honestly, it's just very high CS, even not considering the enemy CS.
They're going nuts here. The Sejuani ult misses. They're not slowing down, though. They know that this is 2
kills. Oh, this is double kill.
And that is an easy double kill. Who's going to get the Kentucky Fried Cat? It is Coated. Gets that 2-for-1 deal. Lovely.
But even afterwards, we're still looking at an almost 3k gold lead for GAM. So it's a very fun game to watch. It's very action-packed, but it's still looking like GAM is in the driving seat, which, is to be expected, of course.
But still, mistakes are being made. There are cracks in the armor. Fortunately, there's a damn hell lot of armor. And I think Team Secret's trying to get through it with a spoon. But maybe they can figure out a way. It's definitely possible, right? This Aphelios is a big, big problem, though.
So, yeah, Aphelios is a big problem. He's still sitting on only 1 item, but he is now a cat. He has a cat with Sicilian immunity for him now, which is quite interesting, because usually you don't want to go Athenes on Yumi at all. And the first item Athenes, not Athenes, of Mikaels, of course, is very unusual. Usually you at least go Athenes into Mikaels. So this is a little bit of an Hail Mary purchase.
Does that work on Barnold? Surely not.
No, it doesn't. It works in Bart stun though, so that's good enough, I think, for him. And it also works on all the other stuns in the team, so could be beneficial, but it's still quite surprising. Palette actually not looking at a lot of AP in the mid game, so yeah, he might even forgo the Athenes altogether, which is I think he shouldn't do that.
I don't think
Athenes is very, very OP on Yumi.
Absolutely. D1 diving forward, dealing quite a bit of damage, but the Bard ult hits Blazers. Can they find anything? That was really well timed response
good
there,
timing.
But they can't finish him. He can't re-enter the fight, though. Activates the Gravitum. D1 dives forward, doesn't actually get on the code. Missed the W. Another shocking Sejuani ult, though, by DNK. He's missed about 4 of them.
Here.
Come on,
he
DNK.
does not kill today.
Does not know where the enemy team is to click on them. Venus gets through the tunnel, doing well there. DNK goes very low. D1's clone was the clone. I was about to pop up as well, but was just the clone. And in the end, no one goes down, and GAM comes out with priority. How did they do it?
Unfortunate circumstances for Team Secret. They were so close to getting 2 kills there. Blazes first, and then also Dia1 in the second half of the fight. In the end, they don't get a single kill. They also don't give up a kill, so at least it's pretty much the same situation as before. They preserved the same gold lead, but it's another dragon over to GAM. So they might be looking at the second Infernal Soul in a row.
Yeah, potentially. It is still a little ways away. I think that fight illustrates that this game is closer than it looks. If that Sejuani ult isn't whiffed, Team Secret comes out massively ahead there.
Yeah.
We have to watch this. In the second half of the fight, we need to watch the Sejuani, but in the first half of the fight, there's a lot more to watch.
This is a very good start. The burst, almost enough. DNK does not get the final damage in. He's a little too scared. Blaze is turning around. I think that's valid. Dia1, you're very much caught. Okay, Dia1 flashed away, so it's understandable.
I guess. Yeah. I still think you could have thrown it more up the lane.
I think so too.
To try and hit Blazes with at least the edge of it. But okay, fair enough. It wasn't a complete miss. It was a flash that I didn't catch.
Yeah. He actually pointed it at someone when he threw it. Of course, that someone flashed away then, so it made him look very silly, but it's not a pure miss. So
yeah, fair enough.
A little bit of
I'm sorry, DNK.
Cut himself.
He did.
Yeah, DNK did know. He did know how to kill the enemies for once. Still not successful though.
It's okay. He's 0-1-3. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's on attack.
Actually, very cool skin. Wow,
yeah,
look at this skin.
I think Rek'Sai got one in the same line. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so here we go. Another one.
Even.
Shirley dropped in the mid lane. Oh, that's nice.
It doesn't matter because it just slows him down a little bit. That tower is still going to die.
It can't charge now though.
Yeah, it can charge the inhib though.
That's actually it didn't work out for that. That's actually super
now
unfortunate.
It's way healthier.
Oh, that is actually so unfortunate for Bard. Usually that's a very good play because he cut down all the.
It would have charged twice anyway.
I'm not actually sure because it got down. They got like 1,000 HP down.
Maybe.
Tier 1 should be fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Usually that's actually a good play for Bard. You can deny the charge damage and then you could just kill Shirley very quickly under turret. But sadly, there was no one for his team there to kill Shirley, so she just got to stay on full HP and charge the next turret.
Absolutely. Now, it is worth talking about as Team Secret has grouped up here. We do have the 2-item power spike for Ezreal. Arguably the strongest point in the game for him. And he has hit the second item, arguably, before the Aphelios. Somehow.
Yeah. He's still 50 CS down. Yeah, I think he's been. Yes, he's been sitting on a lot of
Blazes gets caught by a lot here. There's the Sejuani ult being used. Levi goes low, but there's not enough follow-up damage. Zeros clears out the wave. Can they find anything? They do have True Shot Barrage. That's all they're engaged dead. Levi, nearly stepped back into it, but doesn't quite go down there. But Zeros has arrived. He gets the flank, throws out the Vanguard's edge, but it's not quite enough. Celebrity finds Levi. I don't know if that's where you want to be, though, Celebrity. Venus getting in the tunnel to try and go save his AD carry. He's in the middle of nowhere, though. The stun doesn't land. Can Team Secret get anything out of this? They lose their AD carry, but they might get the 2-for-1 Kentucky Fried Cat special.
What did he do?
As he went with Levi. Levi will get caught in the Tempered Fate. Now they're just trying to hunt this cat down. Levi will die first. They've got to be able to find him. How much time is he going to buy? Not much at all, and the Shock Blast will kill the cat. Team Secret come out ahead.
No boots of the cat. Yeah, that was a little bit over-aggressive for Gamma, and Team Secret gets 2 more kills. They're still 3k gold down. Every time I check in with the gold, they are 3k gold down. But honestly, 3k gold in 20 minutes is way less than 3k gold in 12 minutes. Yeah, indeed.
Stream quality just...
It's a good time to tank the stream quality because there's nothing happening. Everyone resetting here. Oh, look at the items. There's a lot now built up. Finally, Astria has actually hit the transformation on the Muramana. So that is now the big 2-item power spike. 2 items now also hit for Blazes. So he has finally gone back, straight up picked up the second item and parts of the third item. So you were indeed very correct there, pointing out that he has to be sitting on a lot of gold.
Yep.
I'd say Gun is still on a pretty good advantage item-wise, but it's not that clear. Especially if you look at mid lane, it's only 1 item for DR1. He's not that impactful. Blazes gets caught. Now, keep your eyes on Blazes. What can he do in this fight? The gun combination is not great. He still has ultimate to stop the re-engage. He gets healed up. Actually not doing a whole lot. So now let's look at Zeros here. Oh, everyone flashes away from Zeros. Zeros has to be angry with that team fight. He found a very nice Vanguard's edge, but gets exhausted, and then everyone flashes away from him as well. So almost goes down.
The Aphelios ult only hit DNK, so it really didn't slow Team Secret down.
Oh, no, DNK. Speaking of DNK.
Oh, he's caught out here. Hit by a flawless duet, but the team's there, so he is safe on the back of his ball. Right. This game's on a bit of a knife's edge. It's like GAM is very much in control. They're quite far ahead, but Team Secret definitely feels like they can come back in this. That is a Bard ult landing. What can they find off of it? The last chapter comes out. That's the problem with the Bard ult when you've got a Yuumi on the enemy team. The Nico ult gets absolutely nothing there. That was completely useless. DNK using that tunnel to juke. Goes on a magical journey.
Also gone for Team Secret.
Yeah, everything is down.
The teleport. Oh, no.
This is terrible. Team Secret is in so much trouble. You need to run, guys. Find a way out. Run and hide because they're coming. They're going to go in, though. Coated is finally taken down by the Moonlight Vigil. Team Secret, they're running away, but where are they going to go to? They're running to the enemy base. They're getting herded.
Zia was smart, but Artifact is still going to go down.
Gets kicked back. He's going to go down. He'll be the next one. Can the rest of Team Secret try and find ways out? They do have a Bard, so they can be pretty tricky with their pathing. DNK should absolutely go down, and there it is. But 2 of them managed to get out. still an absolute disaster, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, another TP?
Oh, never mind.
Still go back to the very bad part.
As I thought it was. Celebrity has been slowed down the magical journey, but Dia1 says, yeah, I can do that too, and he W's over the wall. Venus, the only one left alive, is the stream.
Oh, Levi.
Venus, we paused a little bit on my end. Levi charging forward. You might have to pause for a bit.
Oh, nice. Coded.
Coded has arrived now, doing a lot of damage here. Levi goes down. Can they find the cat before she can get onto anyone else? They should be able to. That's a good kill. They're charging forward. The dragon was not taken. So the objective is still in flux.
Yeah, there was just a 2-minute fight because everyone wanted to fight. And I was like, okay, you want to fight? I want to fight. We'll just fight now.
Yeah.
So you're resetting right now, or what's going on?
I'm fine. I'm joking. I'm here.
Okay. 4k gold now the difference. So it's getting better and better for GAM. They also get the dragon at the end, but can Team Secret collapse? Zero seems to be called out. No flash.
Misses the Vanguard's edge, so he should be easy. The Gravitum ult from Aphelios also completely whiffed. So they lose the dragon, but they do now have priority to go and try and take the Baron. Their Baron is not super quick, but it's not the worst either. I think they have to do it. If
they have double ADC.
If you're not going to take Baron now, then you're never going to take it. Teleport being
I agree.
used,
and they make the same call here. It's still 4 members alive for GAM. They have a lot of AoE damage, a lot of AoE as well with Yumi, so this is still a little bit dicey.
Ooh, a lot of damage.
1 level lead for Levi.
6,000 health on the Baron. Dia1 in the pit, jumps back out. Levi
Celebrity in bad positioning.
Yeah, Celebrity in a bit of trouble, but he hits a big Mystic shot.
Levi's far away.
It's going very, very low here, and he gets hit by the Tempered Fate. That was really, really smart here. Smite, there it is. It's secured to Team Secret. Now they have to at least get out, if not win the fight. Decent Nico ult to buy some time. Dia1 only just managing to dodge the true shot barrage. Team Secret needs to keep running. The slows from Nico come in clutch. DNK, I don't know about your pathing there, son. Flashes over the wall, but 4 members of Team Secret do get away with the Baron buff.
And we get a very, very close game for the last game of the day. Team Secret is fighting back. GAM is making too many mistakes to close this one out cleanly. They catch Zeros, immediately make the call for Baron. Honestly, just a very good macro play there. And the zoning on Levi, and also Levi's path. And Levi's pathing was a little questionable, but the zoning for Team Secret also very solid. And they get the Baron cleanly, only lose 1 on the backside. Zeros might be caught again.
Caught out again. Does use the dash to dodge the Tangle Barb, and with... Oh, but he gets hit
stunned.
by the Bard stun. Goes over with him, and now he's caught by absolutely everything. So much CC, he flashes over the wall. I don't know where he's going to go, though. They're just going to follow him. He could go for a solo kill onto one of these sides, but there is more CC. He's buying so much time, and look at what his team is doing. They're just pushing in other lanes. He's still alive. He finally goes down. The Baron recalls will be used, and they should be able to get back, only losing the top lane inner.
You say only, but it's only 1 kill for 1 turret, and they have Baron, so they should be looking at taking turrets. It could have been, definitely. Good effort for Zeros. He almost got out of there, or almost got his kill back. If he was able to get a kill back there, that would have been the disaster for Team Secret, honestly. So at least they get the kill for clean. Nah, let's not just say cleanly. They get the kill. That's what I wanted to get at. The kill happened in the end after some struggles, some really big struggles. There is once again no flash, so the next catch on him is way easier.
Yep, and maybe someone from Team Secret will have flash. No one had it in that last one.
Oh man, this game is a very interesting one.
Yep.
DNK with another jump on Dia.
This good shock blast there. A lot of damage being dealt. Dia1 has been sent to Golden. Oh, so much damage from the True Shot Barrage. Can they finish him? No, he manages to get away.
It's the clone.
Oh, it was a clone. Wow. There you go. Got me. Nico and LeBlanc in 1 game. This isn't fair. But Dia1, of course, full health now. Healed up any damage that he really did take from the cat. Team Secret, they've got this Baron buff that they're still struggling to gain actual priority.
Yeah, and this game, as we said before, is on a knife's edge. We have to look at the items to go, oh no, never mind, no time to look at the items. Absolutely. It's another engage.
Blazers has been caught out here. The Sejuani ult does land, but they want to turn it around. Look at the damage from that flamethrower.
What?
200 years of game design. That's an instant triple kill here for Blazers. He's charging forward. He has the crescendum. There's the quadra kill.
Quadra.
He can't get the penta, I don't think. It's too far away.
No,
Artifact goes down. Ace for GAM. Aphelios, the man with the flamethrower, and he's roasted him alive.
I thought they nerfed flamethrower. They looked like the release flamethrower ults we saw on Reddit all the time. What was that damage? They just exploded. Everyone exploded.
And I think that might be game.
Yeah.
What
an insanely unfortunate way to end the series. They might actually stay alive, but it's almost end now. It's 8k gold lead. Levi it's caught by the truth because of the tempered fate.
He's okay. Oh, good God. Aphelios.
Oh, can we please see the replay? Please in slow motion as well. What happened there? That is not okay. Do you want to stun?
But
there's no flash.
He should be able to find the way out. There's the original W, but the spooky ghosts are coming in. This might have been a little silly from Dia, but they can't chase onto him.
Wait, why not? Okay, they need to prevent the yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So now Dia1 is not here. He has teleport available almost. Yeah, he should be up again.
Yeah,
look at Feli's too, just taking down the
He actually helped Secret out quite a bit there.
Levi
goes in and was there ever any doubt that Levi would get it anyway? Infernal Soul picked up the next Aphelios ult. It's going to do even more. Artifact goes up in the air but can't finish it off. The Vanguard's edge onto 4 of them. GAM, they are here. They are going to clean up another fight, and this time, I think they'll have time to win. GAM, they lost one game, but as we said, they might lose 1, but they goddamn never lose 2.
Yeah, I was so hyped to see the next Blazes ult, and then he just whiffed it completely in the team fight. It's so sad. I wanted to see the Infernal Soul Aphelios damage with 100% crit. That would have been something to watch. But yeah, in the end, it's still GAM winning off the back. Nicely done. Venus with some cool Bart moves to stay alive.
We look at the chase. I like how GAM's not ending the game.
We got Rosie. Nice.
And there it is. GAM. It was possible. We all believed for at least a moment, but no.
What an absolute cracker. That was a game. I will want...
on the fun side.
I will go back and rewatch that team fight so many times. We actually didn't get a replay here.
I'm watching the stream. Here's the replay. Here we go. We'll switch back over. Here's the actual replay.
Slow motion, please.
Yep, so here's
flashed away, and then...
There's the damage. Where's the ult? Boom! Hello! Little boy has arrived.
Even the first few drops from just Q and auto attacks were already way too much damage. Then he threw the ult at the backhand, and boom, 800 damage, and spreading through everyone. Oh man, Aphelios damage. It's quite satisfying to watch. If it wasn't such a broken champion, it would be satisfying to watch.
Yeah, if he could only do that, right, when he had a massive lead, huge amount of items, maybe he'd be okay. Problem is he does so many other things. But let's move on from the Aphelios chat. We have to pick an MVP for that game. Not super easy, because I don't think it was Blazers despite that play. Almost leaning towards Paulette. That Yuumi was everywhere.
Honestly, Levi was smurfing this game.
That's true. That's actually a very good point.
All the Qs looked like they were point-and-click abilities.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give it to Blazers still, because Levi got so many MVPs, but...
we're not allowed to do that. It's Levi then.
But Paulette and Levi both had very good games as well.
Let's give it to, I think you're right, though. The Lee Sin was really good. Levi, I think.
Yeah, got the seal in the end as well, even though it didn't matter. But I think he played a very good Lee Sin game.
Yep, okay. We'll lock Levi in. Big shout-outs to Paulette and also Blazers. I mean, all of GAM really just had a cracker of a game. Team Secret, you made us believe after Game 1, and even in Game 3, there was hope. But GAM, as usual, did snatch it all away. So, Team Secret now are in a lot of trouble for their playoffs. I'm sure we'll talk about this maybe on a podcast episode or going forward. But the VCS, we really only know 2 of the teams that are going to the playoffs.
Yeah, now with all the current developments, both EVOS, all 3 teams, EVOS, the Cerberus is the name, right? Yep. Cerberus, EVOS, and Secret are all on 6 and 6. which all three three compete for 2 spots. DBL is still on the outside looking in, so if anyone slips up, or if 2 teams slip up, and for some reason DBL surges in the next week, they can still make players. It's only an outside chance, but it's basically 3 teams competing for 2 spots, and then 1 team waiting if all 3 teams fail and trying to overtake them. So it's such an interesting playoff race, and apparently we're replaying the 3rd game because we just did the timer again.
No, I don't think so. Maybe Secret would like to replay it, but I don't think any of us can do another game. We've probably had enough. So thank you everyone for tuning in for another night of the VCS. We always love having you here. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Remember, 2 hours earlier than it has been previously due to coronavirus. My name has been Everyday. With me has been Yulwei. If you look below the stream, lots of buttons for you to click. Some of them donate money to us. Some of them just get you into the community. We'd love to see you in the community for sure. And I mean, if you can support us, we'd appreciate it. But never ever feel pressured. We do it for the love of the league. But that will be it for us tonight, I believe. So good night, everyone.
Just one quick shout out to the VN production team, honestly.
That's true, yeah.
Because looking at all the leagues across the globe, so many technical difficulties, LEC, LCK, everyone experiencing something, not going to flame them. It's very difficult times to make it work. But honestly, big shout out to VCS. Such a great league right now. It's you can watch without any lags. You can watch without delays and no pauses in game. Just great job. So.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Absolutely. I 100% mirror that sentiment. And also, thank you so much for the guys who are involved in that production that have been giving us information to keep us knowing what's going on. We really appreciate that, and it's really great. But, as I was saying, that will be it for us tonight. Please join us tomorrow. We would hate to not have you here. See you then, guys.
See you for the 3rd day.